Zach Air is absolutely, this man is focused. He is locked and loaded. This is not a drill. Big time bike racing is back. A lot of communication going on with that next and short team, but again, this is the man on the front. So Brian Duffy Jr. driving the scoop. Wisconsin's Hayden Tucker. Restart Nathan is really standing up to that next team here.
Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Community Live broadcast of the Echelon Racing League, race number 4 in the series of 6. We're back at you. We're out on McCurry Islands. I'm Nathan Guerra. Dave Toll sat next to me. I'm excited for a time trial, but mass start out here today. It's kind of a race. Well, it is a race of truth, but you get to pace yourself a little bit out there today.
Yeah, your truth and everybody else's truth is very relevant in the same time. I love this format, Nathan. I've been a huge supporter of it. It's something you could never do in real life. Actually, the concept of the pacing, the effort, and yeah, everything about this, you'll have a chance to see. This was actually part of the racing we did last week. And by the way, congratulations to all of our freshly minted national champions and everybody who took part in the eSports National Championship. An unqualified success. Great job to yourself as well, Nathan. That was really, really cool. But this was one of the 3 races that were part of that Omnium format. So folks would have had a good chance to see this last week as we jump in. A little more full gas today because it's the focus of the entire day. You don't need to worry about any other events out here.
Yeah, 100%. So focus today, going to be in on the D category that we're going to be focusing in on. We will jump across a little bit to the C's as well for our amateur racing up front, just getting out on course. And then we'll be in with the men's elite first at 10 a.m. Central Time. And then the women's elite will be kicking off 45 minutes after that at 10:45 Central Time USA. So let's get right down into the action. Our feeds that we will have here, as you can see, C's, D's across the women's and the men's. Let's jump right down into the men's race, though, as they have jumped out on course pretty fast and furious, though, right from the get-go here, Dave, as we've got Brun and Mendez making a little bit of a move to try and set a solid pace right from the get-go. 6 seconds up, actually, from anybody who's trying to contend here for this race number 4 in the series. I'll also try and get an update to everybody, at least verbally, for the current standings across this category as well. And maybe even we'll show some Zwift power here to get an idea for everybody.
All right. So really noteworthy, and I won't hammer on this too many times, but right now you would say, well, Juan Mendez, at that moment was getting a nice draft off of T. Brun. Well, no drafting turned on. Right. So even if you're sitting right in what looks like the slipstream, there would be no effect. It's going to be Mendez pushing on right now. So taking a look, this is always great. He's a dirt rider. Dad's Indoors Riding Trainers. This is a team of thousands of, in this case, I don't think that there would be a woman on the dirt team. The focus is Dad.
We have Mert.
Or is that not true?
There is actually Mert, and sometimes they'll have dirt in the name because it's just to keep it across everybody. So there is Moms Inside also riding trainers that up front it was all dads, and I think they opened it up.
So they kind of collaborate.
they started getting a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, I think there's just a reality that there was dads that were on this team, and there's moms that were like, I want a team, and I'm inside, and I want to identify as the fact that I'm a parent doing this. So I think they just had to, right?
I get that completely. Christopher Schwenker is the gentleman that does a tremendous job. He rode across the country raising funds just a couple of years ago for dirt. And yeah, this team has a real vibe to it for sure. So Juan Mendez, Nathan, I'm jumping in and taking a look. Certainly someone who takes his Zwifting seriously. He's been doing a bunch of the Flamme Rouge races recently, which is extremely cool, really building up his base. There's Juan right now. Everything, it's all tying together here. Professional setup, that's for sure. This looks like that's not a gain cave, as they call it in the dirt world, Nathan. That's a straight up pro studio.
Yeah, I wonder if he's actually a streamer as well. I mean, that's a pretty nice microphone he's got there set up as well. There's Mendez, and you can see him there, obviously, a dad right inside riding trainers as he's hanging out with the kid. It looks like it may be a triathlete as well, perhaps, or just goes on a little bit of runs there, as he does have some, obviously out on a run with his daughter, it looks like. They're pretty cool to see. So nice job to Juan. We'll see how he ends up going for the day. Brune trying to chase him down. He went out pretty hot here at 181 beats per minute, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Pacing, such a huge part of this, Nathan. And when we're talking about our D athletes, as we're jumping in with now, this is the group that's obviously dipping their foot in the racing pool for the first time, well, not necessarily the first time, but getting into racing. And time trial pacing, Nathan, is something that even world team athletes struggle with. This is not for everybody. It takes a real focus. And I think that's the name of the game. When you talk about time trialing, whether it's in real life or on Zwift, is your focus and concentration really can't waver. You can't all of a sudden start paying attention to what's on the TV or jump on a phone call. You absolutely need that laser-like focus. This is Travis, as one of the riders who went out very, very hot and is still sitting in a solid second spot. You can see he's making a lot of power right now, Nathan, or he was for just a moment. A little bit of fluctuation here, but staying on the gas right now is Travis Brune here, sitting second. Juan Mendez up the road, and you can see it's a 14-second advantage. Nathan, you've done so much racing in real life on Zwift, but do you like, not racing blind, but do you like this style of time trialing is the best way to put that? Where
Personally, I am very tactical in my racing. So like, I like to like, and I'm pretty punchy rider. I'm a mountain biker, and like, I've got a good threshold, but like, I don't know if people have told me it may be my specialty if I were to focus on it, maybe I should and all this stuff, but I just like tactically racing and like sitting in and waiting for the moment and then going all in and at just this steady grind. I don't know. It's not necessarily my thing, but I know some people actually, I have to confess, it confuses me that people like this. I gotta be honest. If I'm being totally honest, when people are like, yeah, we really need a time trial. I'm like, I'm like, okay. It's like, like, I don't know if there's like a food that you're like, why do people eat that? Like, why would you need that at the dinner table? But I know some people absolutely love this, and that's great. That's totally great.
So time trialing is your cilantro, I guess.
Wait a second. Wait a second. I didn't say nothing about about cilantro. I like cilantro.
Okay, my point being, it's diversive, right? You either like it or you don't.
Yeah, 100% there.
So I
just
love
want to
it.
highlight quick Travis here coming out of Suntan Valley, Arizona. So it's probably kind of nice where he's at. InfoSec director. And he actually rides for Project Echelon, it looks like.
Did you say it was Suntan Valley was the name of the...
Santan Valley. Santan. I said sun. I did say sun. You're right. Okay,
I was going to say, that's appropriate. I want to live in Suntan Valley. It's,
Travis
I don't know.
B Run. They put a little fun on his name there. Former Arizona XC champ. So this guy knows how to ride a bike. Former AZ individual time trial state champion. So obviously also likes time trialing. Army veteran and a father of 6. So
Nathan,
pretty cool info we got on him.
Before the broadcast, we were talking about the Venn diagram. That this gentleman is the perfect Venn diagram for what we're doing. Project Echelon is all about educate, equip, and empower for our veterans that have given so much for our country and allow us to enjoy a morning like this racing. Without them, we don't get to do this. So, Travis, thank you, first off. And that's extremely cool, Nathan. I'm going to be heading down to Arizona in a little more than a month, and I wouldn't be too surprised if I see him either at a Belgian waffle ride or at the good old Cactus Cup, which is thriving again down there in Arizona. So, Travis, this is awesome. And this is Travis, Nathan, I believe that you
No,
got
we actually swapped up to
Okay.
Dennis Parang. I'm gonna Parungao. Parungo. I hope I got that correctly. But yeah, we swapped up over, and I can actually see if we can bring up some profile for him. But he's been with us actually, Dennis, every single week so far. Mark Dennis Parangao. Great to have him as well. And I believe he's also, I got to double check this here. I'll see if I got some information on this. He's a retired U.S. Army veteran. He rides for Project Vanguard in team, which I think maybe is a part of the Project Echelon total tent. Sits within retired U.S. Army and a wounded veteran who normally race on his recumbent, but often able to race with it upright. Grandfather of 2 kids and a brother to many of our wounded veterans. Also training to be a power lifter and hopefully to qualify for the Nationals in 2024. Absolutely love that, Dennis. Great to have him. And he's been really committed. He's coming out of Tampa Bay, Florida. I think it's Tampa. Palm Harbor, Tampa. I guess those are kind of the same place, Florida.
I wish I was there right now. I'm going to ask our experts out there. MAR, Nathan, is that the military abbreviation for major? I'm wondering. I don't know. That's just a guess, but I do know Dennis is a legend. If you look at level 49 Zwifter, you can see he's on his hand cycle, and it looks to me like a mountain hand cycle that he's using.
I think he's on an upright this time. He's on an upright.
No, but I'm looking at his picture from his Zwift Power.
Oh, gotcha. Over
If you see that
gotcha.
picture,
Yeah,
doesn't that look like a mountain bike hand cycle with the tires on it? I don't think
it does look, or at least something that could take on a little bit more rugged terrain for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's an adventurous person that clearly has a massive, massive heart, and we sure appreciate you, Dennis. So good job out there. Nathan, I don't know what the weather's like in Wisconsin today, but I'm guessing
that's
very
what you're
cold
looking at right there. There it is.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
see a little bit of knobby on those tires. I just feel
there's a little bit there, yeah. And I think it's maybe a little bit of knobby on there. Yeah,
I'm not sure, but
either
way,
that is. It looks like a big event actually too.
It's funny. Sometimes you can tell. I mean, yeah, you can see the crowd with the fencing behind him. You know what that looks like to me? The Air Force challenge in Crystal City or in D.C. They've had an event there early June for many, many years that has been all about veterans, which would tie into what we're doing here. Project Echelon has been hosting events with Echelon Racing League for a while. The team now, boy, Nathan, this is off the top of my head, but I'm saying we're into the 5th season, maybe 4th season at this point for what has become America's team. There's no doubt about that with the effort that they're making to educate, equip, and empower veterans, bringing this whole community together. It's worked incredibly well. Actually, bring in our friends at USA Cycling as well. They showed up and really delivered a lot of value for our national championships last week. And that event was so significant in so many ways, a turning point in esports racing, in my mind. And it's all about folks like this out here. Perenguao, that's our man. So, I'm wondering, Dennis Perenguao is the rider that we're in with now, Project Echelon Vanguard. The Vanguard is a word I love, talks about the highest level of the troops around the king or queen or president. this point, but Challenged Athletes Foundation represented as well. Today's course, Nathan, 25K drafting turned off, everybody into time trial mode. But when you talk about wandering flats, Nathan, I don't know if there's a course that has it all quite like this one. You even race through night out here in Neokyo, where actually it's never day in Neokyo, is it? You're guaranteed to race through the night on this journey.
I think it always is.
If we show up in Neokyo and it's daytime, I'm going to be really disappointed
something's
myself.
Not right. Yeah. Something is not going correctly. Then I think if we end up with that, so
people cleaning the arcade when you come through, they're emptying the trash, like Vegas at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, jumping in with Rossetto. Great to see D Rossetto in here with us. We'll see if we can get some information on this ride. That's going to be Dominic Rossetto. And looks like he's doing a little bit of cyclocross as well. Rossetto. Also riding for Project Echelon Vanguard. Great to see.
He's got to be happy to be in eSports today. I see that cross picture you're talking about with the snow on the ground and the tape blowing. That's a classic American cyclocross day. That's for sure. So Dominic, I have a feeling is an East Coaster just by the vibe and by the way that they're taping and marking that course. That looks very East Coast to me as well.
Yeah, and Dominic Rossetto, he's got one race under his belt so far. I'm seeing 80. Is that right? 80 plus category. And so that's absolutely amazing to see from jumping in with us.
Dominic Race Nationals.
One of two that are out here with us. Wendy Skeen has also been riding with us. She's an owl. She's one of the Owl team. So this is awesome to see Dominic throwing down with us. And I wonder how long ago that picture was taken out there on the cyclocross bike too.
That's the Hartford Nationals. Well, yeah, that's hard to say, but that's recent, I would say, Nathan, in the last couple of years. Dominic raced national championships last week, won in his category. And, yeah, legend, no doubt about it.
Great to see. Awesome.
I'm coming up on 60, and I would definitely be very leery of taking on Dominic in a time trial. I have no interest in this. He's a absolute monster, Nathan. Look at him flying out here. This
Corbett jumping in now as well. Bikeon.com. I don't know, Corbett. We're gonna have to get some updates on all of these riders because
this is Eric Corbett, Nathan.
Yeah, good call.
Eric with a K.
Conway, New Hampshire, it looks like special ed paraprofessional, hand cyclist and monoskier in the White Mountains of New Hampshire is what I'm seeing here. He's got a Strava profile. This is 44 years of age, coming out of New Hampshire.
What a beautiful state New Hampshire is. And Eric just making the massive watts right now as that Zwift hand cycle that's great to see that this effort was made to include the hand cycling folks on their legitimate equipment. Love that, Nathan. Here's Eric right now up in the White Mountains. I bet you that it's not so warm. Good job out there, Eric. Keep it going.
Yeah, good
Watt
to see.
monster.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of power being able to be produced by these hand cyclists is absolutely mind-boggling to me, actually. Really awesome to see the effort that they're able to put in. And I do love what Project Echelon also has done in order to get those in game too. So it definitely was an effort that they, pushed to make sure the representation was there, Dave.
Yeah, this community, Nathan, when you look, I've really connected through the High Five Foundation, which is something that Peter Stetna helped me find. And they're out of Reno, Nevada. But there's a few different groups that are really looking to help these folks that have given so much of their lives, and now they could use a bit of a hand. And one thing that you can do is support Project Echelon because the equipment is expensive. There's no doubt about that. Bikes are not cheap to begin with, and hand cycles are even more specialized, Nathan. So the more that you can help, the more folks we get out there living the life that they deserve to live. And we get to see folks really, really shine and move back into the best part of life. I mean, hope is what it's all about. And if there's someone out there that's hoping that they can get themselves on a hand cycle, I would highly recommend that you get in touch with Project Echelon and or High Five Foundation or any of the groups that are doing good work out there in this arena and start that process. It always starts with you have to realize, Nathan, that I can do better or I want more for myself. And then you start activating that process. And one of my favorite books for sure talks about how when you really commit to something to make a positive move in your life, you'll be amazed at how the world will conspire to help you. Right? But you have to make that first step. So if you're out there and you think you want a hand cycle, you can and you will. Let's get it going.
I want to know what the kit that he's wearing there. I like this kit. CAF.
That's the Challenged Athlete Foundation.
Is that what
CAF?
That is? Yeah, good call there, Dave. That's awesome. Gotcha.
They do. So there you go. I was talking about High Five. See, I don't want to undersell anyone here, Nathan, because I love High Five Foundation, but man, Challenged Athletes Foundation, there you get around those folks and you just feel this incredible energy of the work that they're doing. So, yeah, it's just really, really noteworthy that we can still make a difference, and there's a ton of work to do. You found Mr. Adams, John. This is a guy who, I mean, how can you not love what John Adams is about? And one, he uses white bar tape too, that's just pro, at least on his real Lin Life bike.
Loving it. Good stuff. John Adams in here with us, and 9K in, trying to chase down Brun and a few others up ahead of him, as well as Eric that we were just in with. Great to have John with us, and we'll see if we can get some more information on how the participation's been going. You know, some of these riders are out here for the first time with us, actually, I'm seeing. So that's really great to see. I'm not seeing any past results, actually, in ERL so far with John. So it's good to have him out here with us right now.
I'm wondering where John calls home, digging in on this. Definitely. So it's interesting, Nathan. I've been in cycling long enough that you'd say, like, why does he have a reflector on his bike? Well, he doesn't have a reflector on his bike. What he has is most likely people in his life that love him so much, or he's smart enough to be riding with one of those. I know Trek makes a great one. There's plenty of companies that make excellent ones, I'm sure. But that flashing red light, that has been the most successful game changer in rider safety, I think, that I've really seen in the last few years. Is how visible are those lights when you're out there? It makes a huge difference for folks to be able to see you. So that's what he's got there. He's got one on his Zwift bike as well.
Yep. He's definitely got the representation going
on,
doesn't he? He's got the representation. Yeah. He's doing a pretty good job of avatar to in real life, I'd have to say, too. The white shirt, I mean, the blue. Look, blue shorts, white shirt. I mean, this is perfect. This is well done, John, on getting a good representation of what the in real life setup as well. We just need the white cap now at this point. But
nobody has got the beard closer than John has.
Seriously,
from real life.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome! Actually. This is great.
They modeled the avatar.
Oh, John, I wish you would have given us a Zoom call, too. I'm not seeing him here, but it would have been cool to see if we found him in real life as well. But thanks, John, for giving an awesome show for us here. It's great to see. Now, we do have the ladies out on course. It's an interesting situation with the ladies D category right now. They are marking each other. These ladies are competitors. Like, seriously, they are so serious. I absolutely love it, how serious they are and how much they just push each other week in and week out amongst our women in this D category. And as you can see here, we've got Listapod, Dubord, and Coker all here battling each other right now. 22 minutes into their racing, and they have marked each other completely. We do have one off the back here, it looks like, in here as well. Let's see if we can get a name on this. The names can be a little bit long sometimes to get exactly. It's Shelly Navin, I believe, who's going to be the rider that we're in with that's trying to chase here at this point. But yeah, this is the situation. There's 3 up and 1 chase at 146 back in this time trial.
All right. So same course. And actually, you can see 11.4K in right now for the rider out of Chicago, that being Shelly Navin. I right now am having a mental block, but Shelly must be the partner with Mr. Navin, who we've had. Is it Charles Navin that's been racing with us, Nathan?
That might be a good guess. Not
but
sure,
also
though.
We'll see. Watch.
I'll have to double
at
check
some
and
point,
see. You might be right.
In the next few minutes, we'll have that answer, and it might be John Navin. Actually,
Chris. I think Chris.
Chris Navin. There you go. But yes, the Navins are clearly the power couple of Chicago eSports, and very impressive job as we're in now with Beata Listopad of the ABR team here. So looks like. Joking the other day, Nathan, someone was talking about their friend Grip, and we were wondering, how does anyone ever get the nickname Grip? And it's going to come full circle for you here, because these ladies are showing air quotes grip right now. They're not letting go of this group. Well, they called him Grip because some friends at a bike race tried to throw him into a pool after the race, and he would not let go of this iron fence pole that he found. And they said, this guy's got the strongest grip of any human being on the planet. 8 people couldn't get him into the pool. He wouldn't let go. Well, same thing here. That tenacity you have to have. Grip is like bite. You know, you have to have purchase with it. And that's what these riders got right now here in this group. They're not letting go of the front, but Beata's going to make a charge here, Nathan. No drafting now. So it's apples to apples. If they make an effort, you have to respond with the same effort. You can't just get in the slipstream and reduce your, 20% and be able to sit there. And again, that's tactics. I guess, Nathan, there's still tactics here.
There's 100%. This is 100% tactics right now. I think they're watching each other and
just
waiting.
No draft.
Because this is it's a points race, right? Like, so at the end of the day, it's a points series, right? And so winning the series is going to be about being the first person here, like, right? And so in this situation, beating everybody, you can kind of like, it depends on how you want to play it here, but I think there's a little bit of watching each other and waiting to be when you're going to go to try and get the win.
I couldn't agree more, Nathan. I mean, it really is interesting when you take the drafting out of it. It still is now. I mean, this isn't really a time trial, to tell you the truth. This is a 3-rider race to the finish line. And the mental aspect of this is absolutely fascinating. Here we go, a little over 10K of racing. Don't ever let anyone tell you that time trialing can't be exciting, especially when you throw the Zwift sauce at it. And this is going to be, now again, we're in with our D women. It's been great having so many riders in camp, but this is Beata Listopad that we're with now. Beata has been a regular. She's a real force in this D category here. Nathan, remember I was talking about how focus is a huge part of being successful in time trialing? Well, Beata has got that dialed.
Coming out of Skillman, New Jersey. 46 years old, tax accountant, indoor team ABR. She says she's happily married and mom of 2 girls. Got into cycling during the pandemic and loving it. Member of eZwift ABR team and proud mini Bull Terrier owner. Is that okay, Bull Terrier. Yeah, gotcha.
I want to know what you were thinking.
Yeah, well, at first, like, wait, what? Oh, okay, got it. Yeah. So I was trying to pronounce it and didn't understand what I was reading for a moment. So, but okay, this is someone introduced to cycling during the pandemic. That is awesome to see, and we absolutely love all of our community members that came in during that time and found a new love in life, obviously, as she's committed. I mean, we're a couple years out now. Now she's racing in the Echelon Racing League.
Yeah, that was going to be my point, Nathan, is one, it's great to have her here, but what's more noteworthy is she's still here on a Saturday morning out here racing. I think that's incredibly cool. Well, I mean, accountants by nature aren't flaky people. And I believe you said that she was an accountant. This is someone who commits to things and clearly sticks with it. She probably didn't spend a ton of time in the arcade as a kid, but right now we are hightailing our way through. This will bring us through a well-known sprint point, and then we'll start making our way back into the sunshine and the final 10K of today's time trial. But these are your three leaders locking horns right now. Nathan, at this point now, these three women are going to have a very interesting next 10 minutes or so racing their way to the finish line together. It's going to be really, really fun to watch. I'm glad we had a chance to jump in with our Ds today, as we absolutely love what Project Echelon has been doing. And Nathan, we haven't really had a chance to talk about the Revo rider Gail, but Gail has been phenomenal out here, more than holding her own. In bike racing, you got to give it like you get it. No doubt. And she's doing exactly that.
Gail Coker, she comes out of Chicago, Illinois, business analyst, obviously riding for Revo. Rides and races in Argon 18, some in real life, and a Krypton indoors. Revo race director, cycling enthusiast. So yeah, and Coker, she's been around a long time actually from this Revo team. We've seen her in the team time trials actually week in and week out. So definitely somebody who's been a major part of the Zwift world when it comes to growing women's cycling too, as a part of that Revo team.
Gail is a level 69 level Zwifter. What level are you, Nathan?
84. I hit 84 last night. Yeah, and Gabby is 10 levels ahead of me.
She's 94, huh?
Yeah.
Someone was telling me the other day, and I don't know, it was not factual based, it was more just a fun conversation, but that there's two folks that are level 100, Teppo and another rider who was unnamed. I'm not trying to put any, I would love to celebrate them, to tell you the truth. We'll have to find out. But that's a good question. If you follow along with us here on Zwift Community Live, I'll do some research and have an answer for you.
Gail's using the Neil Freyette. She was the tactic here for when things go uphill. It looks like
smart move.
to turn it sideways, go vertical,
right.
Go horizontal. Yeah, I like it. But good to see Gail, and appreciate her sharing her indoor pain cave with us. You can see the Revo kit in the background too in real life. Love it when they have an in real life representation. It goes to show how much a part of their life it all is.
She must have a Wahoo headwind as well. So it looks like some good airflow around her. Nice job out there, Gail. So, yeah, an OG Zwifter. We're amongst royalty out here with Gail right now. The Revo team, another one of the OG teams as well. So we've had a chance to meet Beata Listopad, Gail Coker, and then the other rider up here in this front group who certainly not saving this one for any other time. It's your moment, Kim DeBoard of the Galaxy team there in purple. Another one of the two with the disc wheels, a level 35 unlock.
Great to see Kim coming in from Vernon, Connecticut. And she's 52 years of age. She's a brand manager. She rides for ATP indoors is what it says. Probably also for Galaxy, it looks like. So between two teams. Former triathlete, currently races road, CX, and gravel. Works in marketing at Lego. Oh, cool.
What?
Yeah.
That's maybe the best job on the planet. Marketing at Lego? Are you kidding me? So Connecticut, right? She's just about probably an hour outside of New York City if she hopped on a train. What a life. And so it looked to me, Nathan, it's hard to call it an attack when you've got a time trial going, but Gail starting to push the tempo here, the Revo rider. But you could see the response from Beata came immediately without question. So in no way, looking at this screen, would I give an advantage or disadvantage to any one of these three riders. There's a great term, hashtag prove it, that Axel Merckx's action team has used for many years. And I love that. This is really going to be that moment. One of these women is going to prove that she's the strongest of these three.
I'm just going to really quickly here bring in the current situation. I just want to highlight that Beata is the current leader of this competition amongst the ladies. You can see that gold next to her name. Kim DuBois currently sitting in that second place, and Gail is currently in third. So there's a battle right now that's very real for the league standings in the D category between the between the women right now. These three women are all within striking distance with their points in the league. This is exactly why they're riding with each other right now, because they know who they need to beat is right next to them for the overall.
And it looks like Beata is the top points getter across the board, all categories, all racers with her efforts. It looks like she's been almost perfect out here, but she's got a real challenge on her hands here, Nathan, with these other two. They're up for the fight.
Yeah, 100%. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out today. Now, Beata, we have seen her with late attacks. We saw that out in the France roads a couple of weeks ago, late attacks into the race. So we'll see if she ends up doing something similar to that this time around as well. We'll jump back in with the D men as John Adams is making his way through the arcade now. And he's got the bike for it too. Did he make a bike swap? I
feel he did. He did.
I love it. He did a bike swap,
which is insane. And it looks like, well, with Easter coming up here in a couple of months, that purple. What is that purple, Nathan? What color do we call that?
That's a purplish. Yeah, that's purple.
Yeah.
It's a light.
But it has that
purple.
spring.
It's
a spring type pastel, maybe close to pastel. But we met John a little bit earlier. Back in with Travis now. T. Brune here. This is our leader in our D category.
Yeah, and I think I gotta say, I think that one of our riders had an internet issue. We had. I do think that we lost a rider a little bit earlier, which is too bad to see. All of a sudden gone. Not on Zoom any longer in our call or in game, and so the rider who was leading ended up. It looks like Juan Mendez, I believe it was the run who was. So Brune's going to get the better of that. Now mechanicals happen, right, Dave? That's a part of this. Yeah. And so just like in real life, when a bike can break down, we're in the virtual world now, and you have to keep it running, don't you?
Yeah, and I would say that the level of frustration is extremely comparable, to tell you the truth. A power outage, an internet outage, or a flat tire, it's all just a bummer, no doubt about it. We hate seeing it happen, that's for sure. So Juan, I hope we see you back out racing next week, and sorry about the bad luck to the dirt rider. He looked super strong out there today as well. These two had been battling when we picked up the broadcast. It was these two together. I think when we left, Juan maybe had a 15-second advantage. So it was still all in play as we're coming up on 5K of racing remaining here on Wandering Flats out in McCurry. Perfect place to do a time trial like this. We talk about distraction, and a beautiful course like this tests your distraction. There's plenty of really great bike racers who have had plenty of success in the sport that time trialing just isn't their thing. And focus is a big part of why. So with 25K of racing, you can see in our C category, they're down to coming up on the penultimate kilometer here.
I just wanted to highlight that real quickly, actually. We do have Maggie from the Dinos in the C category off the front, making a good attack, getting the better of Clark here from Coalition at this point. Angela Pitts are trying to chase that down. But nice move here from Maggie, and she's only got a couple of K left. It's all pretty much downhill. There's a little 2% bump right here, and then it's pretty much all downhill from her till the finish line, actually. So nice one from Maggie. Good move. I recognize that kind of basement there there. I used to have a home I owned for like about 20 years actually in Wisconsin here that had that fieldstone basement like that, and even a post that's very. I used to cycle in just that just like that, and it's probably pretty cool down there actually. So nice setup. I'm wondering where she's coming out of though.
Boy, I mean, that's a good guess, though. Certainly the middle part of America, you don't see that around the entire country, that's for sure. Make a great wine cellar down there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it definitely would. Is now Maggie. Now we have two Maggies actually in the, and I'm not sure this gonna be a tough one. Which one we're talking about here?
So is Megan Radomski one of the riders that you're?
So we have Maggie Carden, and then we have Maggie Lowe. I think this may be Carden, but I'm gonna have to double check and make sure.
Drafting Dinos. Let's see here. Maggie Carden. That certainly looks like Maggie to me. Level 54 Zwifter. Trying to put the clues together here. You can see there's some things that you just
Drafting Dinos, 41 years of age,
yeah.
Homeless Service Information Systems Director for the Drafting Dinos, year-round bike commuter, mom of two, and Zwifting for fitness. Coming out Madison, Wisconsin, Dave.
Boom. There you go.
I hit that one. There we go. Love it.
What a great scene. Madison, the capital of the state of Wisconsin, where Nathan lives, 45 minutes, an hour from Madison, where Oconomowoc is. It's certainly one of the heartland of America. Is a great way to put it. I absolutely love the state of Wisconsin.
100%. Well, we do have the men's elites warming up. 4 minutes to go to the start of their race in just a moment. Here, as you can see, 4:04 on the countdown. The men's D category are finishing up their race in just a little bit here with a total of 25K in the day. Only 5K to go, but a little bit of climbing still for T. Brune yet. Our C category ladies below that. And then the far left-hand side, we got some attacks going for the women, though, it looks like here, Dave, don't we?
Yeah, well,
women, it's all on here. The moment they're going uphill, Gail not going to be a part of that conversation any longer. It looks like she's getting dropped from the attack from Boubord and Listopod.
Yeah, so we knew this moment was coming. It's the two going to here. So the top rider in this group, that's going to be the two that we're looking at now. That's Beata Listopad, the ABR rider. But Kyle Dubord here, we were talking about the incredibly cool job that she has working at Lego. Well, she right now is putting it all together. The Galaxy woman is on the front and putting Listopad under pressure, but Listopad is responding quite well. Here, Nathan, no draft. Remembering that if you're joining us here, you can see sitting in third, that's Gail, who's still, they're just up the road. So Gail's not out of the story. Now, going up and out of the saddle and over the top. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. Beata Listopad is now trying to assert her dominance, but look at how Kyle Dubord is able to respond. They're down to just over 4K of racing out here on McCurry Island. But it looks like Beata, who's been the top rider in this category, one of the most dominant forces that we've seen in the Echelon Racing League, and she is now in full effect. Nathan, this might be the race-winning moment.
Yeah, it looks like it is to me, as she's now making this move up and over the top of this climb. 2 seconds, 4.0 watts per kilogram, 174 beats per minute, as you can see. So now the move's really being made as Beata is going to look to try and solidify her lead in the series overall in this race number 4 on the time trial.
Boy, it really reminds me of the old Schleck Contador battle. When you attack a rider, be ready for that. When you pull your sword, it's on, and then you better be ready for them to come at you. And that's exactly what happened there as Kyle Dubord started pushing the pace. Beata Listopad responded, came up and over the top, and now she is gone. 8-second, 9-second advantage at this point. So it's going to take a huge effort here. And this is where things get interesting, Nathan. The two riders, they won't be able to combine efforts together. They can't swap pulls as there is no drafting here. So it's every woman for herself, as Listopad is right now charging her way off the front of this bike race here. So our time trial, 25K out here on Wandering Flats. And this woman is not wandering. She is driving it home.
Yeah, it looks like this one is said and done when it comes to the TT. Beata is going to take it down, and that's the dominance so far that we've seen from her. Dubourd's going to have to settle for second, but there's still a battle behind, isn't there, Dave, at this point? She cannot let up as Gail is starting to make a little bit of headway into the lead there from Dubourd. Able to, this is the thing. If you try and follow a move that's just too strong, sometimes you can overcook it and end up fading and getting caught in the end here. So we'll see what happens between Dubourd and Coker in just a moment.
Such a great point, Nathan. This is why you have to understand the physiology and yourself as a racer, because if you go into the red for too long, you blow up and you're not going to recover. And that's where you see riders. You have to understand that it's not always about just racing for the win. Sometimes you have to consolidate a second place. Right. And there's a real value to a second place, especially when you're talking about a point series like this. So Kyle Dubourd, it looks like she was able to stabilize things out there, didn't get too deep into that red zone now because, yeah, her biggest problem really is going to be Gale behind her.
Real quickly, we'll get back into the D's in just a moment here, but I want to watch the men take off in the elites now as we are in with James Barnes. We've got how many stars? We've got plenty out here today. Next, eSports have shown up in force, but Dave, things are a little different this week. Nobody's going to be able to draft, so it's going to be just about what you've got out here when it comes to the racing. You're not going to be able to have the kind of support that we saw from Next to take down the national championship last week, right? So now it's just going to be mano a mano.
It reminds me of track and field, Nathan. There's really nothing a teammate can do for you outside of psychologically being a rabbit and trying to take your competitors off of their game and get them off of their pacing strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to big-time time trialing here on Zwift. This is going to be absolutely fantastic, Nathan. A lot of these names are going to be some of the biggest talents in the sport today. Let's start with James Barnes, an Olympic gold medalist in the esports category. This man is straight up legend. Interestingly enough, now you don't have to be an American to race James Barnes, a South African who lives in New Zealand, but he'll be a great part of this story. I saw Jay Brune. We've got Travis Brune out here, but also Jay Brune in the elite race. No relation that I know of, but just two great esports racers. So as we go to the four screens right now, very quickly, you can see that some of our C and D men and women will be in the final couple of K of racing here. Our elite men just getting out on course. The elite women will be coming up a little over half an hour from now.
Yeah, elite men jumping out on course. Let's jump back in with Beata here real quickly. She is going to be finishing up here in just a moment. And they are 22.6 now at this point. And Listapod here, ABR. Now, 2K to go to the line. We'll jump back in with the men in just a moment here. But it does look like this is going to be a win here for Beata.
I am going to plead ignorance, Nathan. Help me out. ABR. Do you know the acronym?
Ooh, I did. I did.
Okay, sorry. I knew I shouldn't. It's unfair to put you on the spot with you doing a million things there. I should
know. I should know. I've had.
So should I.
That, yeah. And I gonna double check. I'm looking right now. It is.
It's funny.
They actually
so ABD.
Interesting. They keep it, it's an acronym across the board, actually. So I'm seeing, Apache Brave Racing.co.uk. So that is what it is.
There you go. I was thinking ABD is Athletes by Design, which is another, speaking of Wisconsin, I think a team that comes out of that region. That all makes sense, though. So Apache Brave Racing, thank you, Beata. It's a great job out there. Now we know, I believe that she is watching the broadcast as well. So, Beata, you are rider of the day. No question. She comes into a really competitive group of women, racing their hearts out. She's opened up a 23-second advantage over Kyle here. Gail's sitting, now it's getting close there for second, Nathan. That silver spot is far from guaranteed to the Galaxy rider, Kyle Dubourd. It's Gail Coker there.
Kim Dubourd.
Kim, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Kim Dubourd in second there for the Galaxy team. Well, never assume.
Yeah, that's always a tough one, right? With any assumptions for sure. Oh, interesting. Looking through here, lots of conversation coming through here, and I'm not sure. There's some are saying that there's some confusion. It looks like over in the men's A's category because some people think that drafting is on. I don't think that that's actually. I'm
It's
not
not
seeing it in
supposed to
sauce.
be.
It's not supposed to be.
Right.
So they. I think everybody just needs to race their bikes, but we'll see. We'll see. Perhaps people are seeing it in their sauce.
That's interesting. There's a lot of dynamics at play with an event like this, and the preparation is massive to just make sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted before you get things going. So we'll make sure there. This is just
Well,
about a done deal now, though, for the action that we've got on screen as Beata Listopad into the final few 100 meters on McCurry. She's still keeping the power numbers off the charts. There she is. Congratulations to the champ. Well done, Beata.
yeah, good job to her. 200 meters to the line. Well done and well deserved. The effort that was put in there for the D category. That'll be your winner for the women's Ds. And that is a monster effort. Absolutely love
Apache
it. Good
Brave
job to
Racing.
Beata. Yeah, ABR.
Now we know. That's how you do it. You know, you want to get your team some good pub, you want to get the word out, go ahead and do what Beata did. Ride a very impressive bike race, and we will definitely notice. Beata, you are a star. So that one is done. The champ is in the house there as we get a good look at her finishing. Let's go back then. I believe that we're going to be looking at here's Travis now. Pretty similar. He's got a little over a K to go.
Yeah, Travis Brown, about a K to go. Nicely done here for Travis, and we will definitely stick in with him as he finishes out his 1K to the line as Bruns now 900 meters away from the win here. And only 31 seconds, though, over the rider behind him. Is that going to be Dennis, who's been chasing him this entire time?
Yeah, Dennis has got it down at half a minute there. So well done. Dominic, look at Dominic more than holding his own. The 80-year-old rider is only 3 minutes and some change back. So Dominic, amazing job out there.
Yeah, 100%. So great job by him. Now, taking a look here, this is going to be our man just behind Brun here. Dennis that we had in cam a little bit earlier. Well done to him. And he's going to be taking a second place out here today behind Travis Brun. And great job to our D categories. Absolutely love the coverage for them today and that their participation throughout the entirety of this. They've actually been really committed too. The riders that have been showing up, we've had a really good contingent that have been here with us week in and week out.
I'm really happy that we were able to reward that with the broadcast today, Nathan. Fantastic. That's been noticed by you and the team. Thank you to Eric and Frank as well at Project Echelon for so much support. There's the truss, the finish line glowing as Travis Bruin's going to clock a big W out here today. One last watt surge as he'll dim the power grid all over McCurry. Travis Bruin, you are the champion standard here today on Project Echelon Racing.
Yeah, nicely done. All right. Well, that is the situation for the D category. Nicely done, everybody. We'll be bringing in the results here in just a moment. Back in with the men's elite now at this point. Now, we may have a situation here where drafting accidentally got turned on, and we've got riders here now battling it out in a scratch race in the men's elite category. We'll see. So we've got confusion though. Brad Greenberg saying there's no draft for him. So I don't know. We'll see. What's happening here. I actually turned on Sauce to see if perhaps I could see draft, but because my avatar isn't moving, I can't tell. So
you're not
I have no idea.
So,
yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody actually can confirm for sure whether or not. We have no, I mean, they look like they're all hanging out with each other at this point. We may be turning into a little bit of a scratch race.
It gets interesting to try to even wrap your mind around that, Nathan. So rather than speculate, I'll just leave it to there may be an issue. listening in, it sounds like, to some Discord.
Yeah, it looks like I think some of the riders here now are coming through, perhaps over on our feeds now at this point. Let's see if we can see who's chatting with us actually in just a moment.
One, I'd like to say thank you to everybody for seems like a level head is being held by all out there. And I think that it sounds to me, Nathan, just kind of looking at what the riders are saying is that some riders must be experiencing drafts, some aren't. They seem to think it might be about when you join the pen.
That would be really interesting. I don't know how that would, because whether or not draft is on is a
seems like it'd be cover everybody or nobody.
Yeah, it's just a tag in an event, so that's not really how that works. I'm not sure what, but I don't know. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see, because Saturday Club Ride, let's go here from Cunningham. Well, Barnes is off the front, and he's just going for it, which I appreciate. I appreciate James is just going to take it to everybody and make a move here. 438 watts. Forget it, the chatter, and just put it into the legs. That's what James Barnes is all about.
That's really, I would say, personifies what Barnesy has brought to this sport. We've talked over the last few weeks about Tepa Lorio quite a bit, but the quality of character that James Barnes has brought to esports, the positive influence. I mean, this is a community leader without any doubt. This is how you do something like that. So it looks like Eric making a comment there to everybody. So they're just trying to work on it. This is the situation we have. Let's just go forward and race as hard as we can. I get that. That's what James Barnes is trying to do. So thank you, James. Leading by example. Here comes Farm Watts. You surprised? I'm not.
Yeah, not surprised one bit. Pucker now making a move here, as you can see. Farm Watts here at 170 beats per minute. Loving the bike setups that they're bringing on the day, as the bikes are neutralized. So that's always great to see. As Noonan now trying to go across now, it looks like, from Hydro Reidenbach here. Chudik now trying to make a move across. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 riders in total here at this point, making this front group.
Yeah, all right. Well, so these guys are going to make hay while it's in the field, and this is going to be a man whose star is rising out of Wisconsin. Seems like Wisconsin is the state of the day today, Nathan. So this is going to be Farm Watts now pushing on Hayden Pucker here. Weinstein, Corrigan, Barnes, Noonan. Oh, Thomas Parin is up there. Watch out for Thomas Parin. He's become a rider, Nathan, of note without any question. Here comes Jaden Yeager as well. So this is not only Echelon Racing League.
Really?
Yeah, he is. It looks like he's in Group 2 right now. Can't really call it. Yep. There we go. Holy cow, there's some big hitters up here. A bit of a split. So let's see what we've got now, Nathan. I think really you're looking at close to our top 20 on the screen here.
Yeah. Back in ninth now, as you can see, Yager now playing it pretty smart at this point, as Joseph Chudik now looks to drag him across. A10 is in here with us as well, as this is a rider to definitely be watching out with if he gets involved at the front end of this race again. Nope, Joseph Chudik, he's going to kick now, as Duval jumps right on the wheel, and he's going to be making this an 8-man group up front. Jaden, can he get back involved here as the attacks come fast and furious?
Wow, look at this. Now, who's the next rider just surging? I think that's Joseph Choidik that we're looking at up near the front, or moving up to the front. That's Brad Greenberg, actually, that I was noticing making a big surge right now. Ned Bowen, the draft rider up here. That's good to see. Ned has been coming on strong.
I think, no, so they're on the similar section of course. Is what's going on there.
I'm sorry. My bad. Chasing at 150 back. So Ned that was a bit of a surprise, as Ned will be up here someday. Nathan, I apologize, though. Ned working hard in another group. This is the front group that we're with right now.
Yeah, things have settled down just a little bit here as Jaden's gotten back on terms. How many riders do we got here? Is this going to be 10 riders in total or so, it looks like? So now it looks like Cunningham just getting back on terms. Nicely done here from Dean Cunningham. 4.8 watts per kilogram, 187 beats per minute. That's going to make it a 11 rider group at this point. That's going to settle right on down. 8 seconds back here. Reidenbach, as you can see, Weekly's there as well. And then it's going to be Napier from the ice cream crew. I like this. This is I saw the ice cream endurance team over on Instagram, and they were hyping up this rider and how they had done at nationals. Absolutely love to see the support coming in for this rider from their team.
Shouldn't be too tough of a sell to get folks onto that ice cream team, you wouldn't think. So this is going to be the three riders. So Nathan, at this point now, they're just pacing each other up to this group. So there's no, well, I'm going to leave that alone. But this group trying to ride up into the front group, they do, even though, draft or no draft, you still also need to work together symbiotically, trying to pace each other up there, as they can see that group just up the road right now. 25K.
At 10 seconds is going to be interesting. I mean, it's a lot of, talk about that kind of effort that has to be put in, though, in order to bring back 10 seconds like this. It's so massive.
Well, it's really, so many dynamics change when this isn't a road race. It's a time trial here. So the issue, the elephant in the corner is, are they getting a draft or not, right? Obviously, if they are getting a draft, it benefits them to work together, all three, to try to share that workload. If you can evenly split up that workload, you have a better chance of getting up there, assuming that everybody has the ability. That's going to be Paul that we're talking about here, the ice cream endurance rider here, and the NYC Velo hat. So it looks like they're going to soldier on with two.
Oh, yeah, and this is interesting. He says enough is enough. I don't know what's going on here with Napier. Indianapolis, Indiana. Is he just saying forget this and okay, interesting. Says enough is enough and leaves the event. I think he just said, I'm done with the event, perhaps. We'll see if we can jump back across and find our riders again. But it looks like he just said, no, I'm not going to be hanging out here any longer.
When the pacing schedule isn't going your way, that's one way to end the problem, right?
Yeah. Well, we do have Thomas Parin here. He has made the front group. We'll get our live shots back here in just a moment from the racing at the front. But it looks like Parin here, focus as always.
He has really been, for me, the rider that has redefined this season. The biggest talent to emerge, Nathan? That's a fair question while we have just a moment here. As Thomas is a rider that, to be honest, coming into this 6 months ago, I guess it's fair to say, I wasn't really that familiar with, but now he is a force to be reckoned with, animating and dictating in every race. I mean, what a great element of the team he is on next and short. Very, very valuable rider, multi-talented. He's a Swiss Army knife out there. And you can see he's very focused right now, the next rider. That's in our A men's race.
Yeah, and
Shepard's is not actually.
Go ahead, Dave.
I was just going to say, Shepard's there with that 35.9K an hour is just cooling down, I believe, from a.
Yeah, he's helping us out.
Helping us find another.
He's helping us get in with.
He's a placeholder right now.
He's a placeholder is essentially what's happening there. We have found the race again. Luckily, we're in a world that we can sneak in the back door and jumped back in because. Interesting enough, that's interesting. That is probably something in the background there too, where if you are fan viewing everybody, just be on the awareness that if a rider decides that, hey, I don't want to be in this any longer, you might end up no longer in there. Yeah. So we just happened to be hanging out with Napier. I think he heard about the ice cream and said, hey, I really am.
He's what's the free ice cream social? I'm done with this race, right? I don't know if you're a fan of Moki or not, Nathan, but I would imagine there's a great place to get Moki in Neokyo. Late night Moki stop, but these riders aren't worried about that. There's Joseph Choidik. He's a rider to watch, no doubt about it. I feel like we haven't told his story enough either. That's something I'm going to note to myself, that Joseph has really got one in the bank with me.
Yep. So I am getting confirmation from my sauce as I am watching this rider that there is definitely draft on. So I'm just going to let that be known. I can confirm for sure that I am seeing draft, and anybody that's not sensing draft, that is simply a perception. Unless your sauce for some reason is actually showing that, and then we've got a really weird situation. But now it is going to be a traditional scratch bike race, it looks like, out here today. Just want to let everybody know that I am seeing technically in front of me. If you are watching the broadcast, I want to make sure that everybody knows that.
I appreciate that, Nathan. I mean, so right now going forward, I'm going to commentate assuming that draft is on and that what we've got now, it's no longer a time trial. This is going to be a bike race to the finish. Is that fair to you, Nathan?
100%. 100%.
There we go.
See if we can get a change. We do have 25 minutes at this point to see if the event can be changed on the women's side of things, or if it is the same. We'll find out as soon as we possibly can on the elite women's.
We will let you know.
Yep. Hayden Pucker now to the front. 7 watts per kilogram. Kicks are happening.
Yeah, there you go, Nathan. Thank you for clearing that all up. And yeah, we got ourselves a 10K full-on bike race. We've made the selection, so we're racing out of the breakaway. This has been the biggest star that's come out of eSports here over the last month. Hayden Pucker is going to be a noteworthy rider, that's for sure. It's going to be James Barnes here, one of the most experienced and decorated eSports rider in the history of this discipline. Right up in, is it going to be a 4-rider split? It's going to be Corrigan there, Barnes, Joseph Choidik making it, and Thomas Parin has now arrived. Duval also there. Weinstein. Jaden Yager up here. Wow, Nathan. All right. Bit of a regrouping. That, to me, looks like a dozen riders here in our front group. Who's going to be the strongest of them all here with 9K to the finish line? 9K to go.
Yeah, back in with Pucker here. Always with that steady cadence, as you can see here in the farmhouse, as usual. And it has the Attitude Sports kit on, coming out of Fond du Lac area. So I know Attitude Sports actually used to be a sponsor of Vision Cycling back in the day, 2014. Absolutely love Attitude Sports. They had a shop actually in Pewaukee here for a while as well, down the road, but now mainly focused out in Fond du Lac. So that's why he's on that Specialized S-Works, as well as they are a Specialized store, and very, very recognizable kit. If you are up in that middle Wisconsin area here. Now he does respond, and it's actually not responding. This is actually an attack here happening from Pucker as we're in with Chudik, who's chasing the restart rider.
Yeah, well, and this is going to be a huge, huge moment, no doubt about it. Chudik is chasing Corrigan also with him. Probably within 50 miles in real life is going to be Jaden Yeager. They're the restart rider here. As Restart having a phenomenal race at this point. They've got 2 riders sitting up here who are going to be a big, big part of the final conversation. The attacks are coming left, right, and center. Here goes Weinstein now out of that group. So he's attacking. Who's going to cover this one now? Nathan, this is going to be phenomenal. Again, resetting everything for our folks. This time trial has turned into an all-out Donnybrook here on McCurry Islands. They're down to 8 kilometers of racing. This is our front group now. I think Donnybrook is a good word for what we've got on our hands here, Nathan.
Yeah, this is going to be Parin now on the attack through the dirt section, knowing that the other riders are not getting quite as much of an advantage when it comes to, as soon as you see the dust kick up, you know that the drafting is not as good. You know that the riders have to push a little bit more now at this point, and that's exactly why Parin is taking advantage, and everyone sits up a little bit here. 3.5 watts per kilogram here, 6 watts per kilogram from Parin, and Parin can do this all the way to the finish line just about, Dave. I think 6 is probably something that you can see from him for consistently for the next, I would say, at least a couple of K, and then settle right on in. This is danger moment now.
Massive danger. As a matter of fact, they are watching the bike race go up the road. Thomas Parin is a massive talent. He just does not disappoint. He's like ice cream himself. So right now, when you look at this, I don't know how they're going to respond. James Barnes is one of the few riders on the planet that really has an answer to a problem like this, and it's his teammate. So he certainly, I wouldn't expect going to be the rider to chase him back. Actually, Barnes right now is in that very interesting situation of, as a good teammate, you just sit on the chase. Jaden Yeager is going to take the responsibility, so it's going to be Restart, really, Nathan, that has to accept that this is their problem.
James Barnes now sitting on here. As you can see, he's not going to be making the chase. He's not going to bring his teammate back. Oh, my goodness. Look at the heat in that room. You can see it. The sweat coming off of this man.
So, remember now, he's on the other side of the globe, right? He's in New Zealand where it's the middle of summer.
Look at the fans. Look at this setup. Look at this. I absolutely love this from Barney now holding on. And this is a man that can win this in the sprint. It's a downhill sprint, Dave, isn't it? So they're going to have this climb coming up here. Parin's off the front. They can sit in, and the chase is on now at this point. So they don't want to mess around, though. Corrigan looks, I'm going to go across because they really don't want to be in a situation where they're just dragging next up with them.
This is as good of an example of how you win a bike race. Now, watch how this plays out, and it's certainly not going to be done until it's done, but we are watching a clinic being put on here by the Next Insured team. They send one of the most talented riders on the team up the road. The chase now being led by their biggest competitor, Restart. Well, James Barnes, the most dangerous rider in the race, gets to sit on. So you can see that nothing comes easy in esports. There are no gifts. This is going to be Barnes in cam here as he bears down on it. His teammate is up the road, Thomas Parin. They're racing almost completely on other sides of the globe. Neither one of them in the United States, even though there's been a huge theme to USA cycling racing here. One of the great things about racing is it's a global sport, no question. That's going to be Thomas Parin now. This is the Next Insured team that is having their way with this field, but Nathan, so many times we talk about how it was all going perfectly right up until that moment when it wasn't. So there's no bonuses to worry about. We actually had a very interesting scenario where this race started as a time trial, morphed into a road race about halfway through, or actually probably earlier than that, but by the time that everyone recognized the state of play had changed, this was really the first dramatic moment once we established that front group of, I'm calling it 12, and I think it probably is 12 to tell you the truth, but Thomas Parin is our leader. That's the rider that we've got in cam. He's holding on to around a 7-second advantage, so we're going to be able to see what Parin can do. We're in cam now with him. He's racing out of the United Kingdom. This again, up and out of the saddle. So he's throwing even more watts at the problem. If they do make the catch, it's going to take everything they've got back in that second group. No question, as his teammate James Barnes is sitting on that chase. It's Restart really right now with the new star Hayden Pucker along with the old guard. And Jaden Yeager, when you talk about experience, Jaden Yeager has been racing for decades at the highest level. So much experience, and to be fair, he jumped in with eSports early. Now we're going back to New Zealand and picking up James Barnes here. James has got his teammate up the road, so really what he's doing is just marking this chase, and I don't even know, I mean, he's got 2 cards that he can play if they do catch his teammate, which, to tell you the truth, I would be a little bit surprised if they do at this point with as strong as Thomas Parin. And we're going back to the chase now and picking up. So that's Barnes sitting in the, well, the air quotes draft. Actually, there is a draft. Dave.
8 seconds now at this point for Parin. Open it up on that little bump there. This is, I'm surprised it's staying away so well here, but they can't. They just can't. And the reality is, right, we've got Duval. We've got Duval in here as well. Duval's actually next. Duval's, yeah. So because of that, with Duval and Barney in here, you've got to just take the bull by the horns and try and pull next up. And with such a danger man, with Duval and Barney in here, do you do that? And so they're sitting up, I think, letting Parin go. Or maybe they just can't respond. There is that reality, perhaps.
I think everybody right now, Nathan, is keeping their cards close to the vest, and they don't want to do the work. So this is my theory here. There's only one guy back in that chase group that has the complete right to say, I'm not chasing, and that would obviously be his teammate, James Barnes. Everybody else now needs to figure out how much responsibility they want to take for this problem. Gap at 8 seconds. It can easily be 10 seconds. I mean, Thomas Parin is not struggling at this point. He's not a guy who's at the end of the rope. What he's doing, in my mind, is matching them, Nathan. Right now, he can look back and see the power that they're making, know what he's doing. If he can just hold it 7 seconds here, he doesn't need to risk blowing a gasket out here. I have a feeling Thomas Parin, can he do this for another 4K? Absolutely he can. It's on them in that second group. They've got to elevate the chase. They've got to find another level. And Restart, I think they're concerned, Nathan. I'm going to throw it back to you here. Restart is like, look, if we do all the work to catch him, we're just going to get attacked by Barnes. We need everybody to participate to make this catch. What do you think?
Yeah, and that's the thing is it is a downhill section here as well, and that's going to be a really difficult ask here for Restart. It's going to be really difficult ask as well for Turbo here at this point. But, I mean, and being a downhill from here forward, Next can sit on and get the draft here on a downhill and barely have to work, but there's a little bit of a gap here. Pucker went to the front. Now, as you can see, Barney having to make some work here. 7 watts per kilogram to bring this back. Where's Duval? Duval's the only one that's made it now at this point. Now he's on the front, but he's not going to make the chase.
Slight bit of lack of focus there for James Barnes, to tell you the truth. I'm a little bit surprised. Is this Brad Greenberg?
Duval. This is Duval.
Camp?
No, we're in with Duval.
This is Duval. Okay, there you go. So another one of the next riders here.
Yeah, and this is the rider who has made this front group here, chasing every one of these attacks down to try and bring back Thomas Parin. Parin still with 4 seconds, Dave. Well, Joseph Chudik now headed to the front here for Turbo again. Corrigan now trying to make the moves here. A10 still in here with us as well.
Duval, the Welsh rider, now he's in the same situation as Barnes, doesn't want to chase back his teammate, but doesn't want to also give up positioning in that group now and find yourself like James Barnes getting caught on the wrong side of a gap now. So Duval is A10? Is that right?
No. Duval,
okay.
Marcus
Sorry, who
Duval.
Is A? Yep, got it. Who is A10? Do we know who the rider is, or are we just using A10?
We're just using A10 for now.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out the teams just to get that all straight. But okay, perfect. So Duval is the next rider we're in cam with, also with James Barnes back in this group. But you can see that Restart keeps splitting that chase group here, Nathan.
Yeah, and as you can see, it is going to be Pucker making the chase and actually makes the catch here. Brings back Parin, and now it's a full reset, isn't it here, Dave?
Wow. All right. So this is the Tête de la Course, so the front of the bike race. I'm pretty amazed. This really speaks to how strong Hayden Pucker is. Every week, he's better and better and better. And he just neutralized what could have been a race-winning attack from Thomas Parin in the next team. So next does have 3. I would expect the counterattack coming in. It looks like Duval's going to be the rider doing that. Or will it be someone else coming over the top? Corrigan has more than held his head above the water out here today.
A10 now to the front. I'll get an update on this rider. He hasn't done any of the background work here for us, Mr. A10. We'll see if what's happening.
It's like R2D2. We don't really know much about A10.
Well, I do actually, and I'm having a brain situation here, actually, to be honest, which is really, really frustrating on this point. As this has
been a challenging race to call, to be honest. As far as we've had a few issues, but we do have now 1.2K of racing remaining, so we're really
about a 1K. About 1K.
Yeah.
We're right there now at this point. So Alex Tenselhoff is who we're talking about there from A10. This is going to be paired now with the attack here up and over the top, it looks like now, though, as this is going to be right into the last K.
Alex Tenselhoff, the coach of Hayden Pucker, and also on Restart then, I have to believe. So there you go.
Yeah, it's my bad. There's enough going on in front of me, and my brain just was not functioning for just a moment, because I actually do know Alex and have raced amongst him. He's from Michigan. It just for a moment there with all of the different attacks going left, right, and center. Also losing a feet or two there for a second. It definitely was a struggle. But now 500 meters to the line here, Dave. This is it.
Yeah, and it looks like we are locked and loaded, folks. A big-time sprint coming up. At this point now, it doesn't look like anybody's going to zig when they zag. And
it's right there. Out of the
look at
it. It's right in front of us.
Yeah, you can see it glowing up there. They're going to make the little bit of a sweeping left, and then this sprint engages. Count it down. 3, 2, 1, ignition. We're underway, Nathan. The sprint has hit out. There's the line. Jaden Yeager's going to lead it out. Here comes Barnesy, and it looks like James Barnes will
right to the line. It's going to be so close. 14 watts per kilogram. Joseph trying to come over the top. It looks like right at the line, getting taken by his teammate Parin, actually. That's a surprise. But NXT eSports makes it happen.
Tenselhoff getting up there, but wow, a lot happened in the last 100 meters there. Well, you could just feel how grippy it was for Barnes. They slam into that right-hand turn to the finish line, and that is when Thomas Parin posts up a huge win. Again, we'll go back and look at the API here and see exactly what happened. Wow, that was crazy. So a time trial turned into a road race. It turned into a group sprint with Thomas Parin taking the win. Marcus Duval in for second. James Barnes for third, Joseph Choidik for third. It's going to be Alex Tenselhoff in fifth, Jaden Yeager for sixth, Dean Cunningham seventh, Tom Corrigan, very active. Great job today, Tom, in eighth. And then Hayden Pucker certainly put a gold star next to his name, an animator out there. Hayden Pucker in for ninth.
Yeah, we still gonna have some riders finishing up here in just a moment. Massive sprint though. I definitely I thought Barnesy was gonna take that one down, Dave. It was so close, right at the line there, but unable to, get the. He was kind of a lead out train though, and Parin, the recovery from Parin actually pretty amazing. For him to be able to, after being off the front for that amount of time and then to be able to come up and over the top, what a move there from Thomas Parin.
Boy, with the Zwift games coming up in a month and a half, a little more than a month and a half, makes me wonder, is Thomas Parin going to be the top Zwifter in the planet at that point?
It's a good question.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you, Thomas. Let's go ahead and bring Mr. Parin in with us for you. Thomas, can you hear us? So give us 1 second. Thomas, can you hear us okay? We got you.
I got you now, yeah. How you doing?
Good. I'm going to see if I can make it so you don't hear yourself there, but you might have to deal with that. See if we can double check on that. But Thomas, off the front for quite a while there. Nicely done. That was a huge effort. And then the recovery and to come through with the sprint. Now, I would think that the team tactic was send as many next off the front and get everybody else to chase and wear them out.
Yeah, that was 100% the goal. I've been. It's happened. I got a bit. I can hear myself. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I killed it there. Hopefully, it's better now. Is it good now?
Yeah, that's better. I mean, it's happened a couple of times. I did it in Zwift GP on Thursday, where I just kind of rolled off the front, didn't go into red numbers, and then kind of just pressed on from there and just tested to see how the gap went. And it happened again today. I just sort of rolled off the front, like soft, not really an attack, and then just pressed on because I knew the hill was coming up. So it was about a 5-6 minute effort. But those guys came charging past on the downhill, so I then just sort of sat up, regathered my thoughts. James Barnes said he was going to keep the pace high. I told him not to because he's got a better sprint than me. And yeah, I just found myself in the right position, going at the right time at the finish. I mean, 98% luck, to be honest. And then
yeah, well, it was nicely done. Dave, I think Thomas should be able to hear you, Dave. Let me double check on that. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, Thomas, a fantastic job. It's so much fun watching you race. Being a part of a team like Next and Short, is it fair to say that in eSports you found that same, lack of a better term, esprit de corps, where when you come into a race like this, whether it's you or James or Duval, it doesn't matter who wins, that you can truly race this like a team? Have you found that level? Because that's the sweet spot in sports.
Yeah, I mean, we chat pretty tirelessly before the race, so we know who's got good legs going into the race. A couple of people have had bad illnesses, so they kind of just put a bit of a front on and and kind of build up the numbers and send sort of false moves and cover where they can. And then we ride to the best of whoever's got the legs on the day, really, and plan around that. But yeah, everyone seems to be coming off with good results from the team around the board. So yeah, we've had a good few weeks, good few months.
Nicely
Two-part
done.
question to just really quickly to wrap it up. Zwift Games coming up. How big of a focus is that for you? I hear a lot of athletes talking about it. You've got tremendous form. You're really one of the hot new riders in esports. Zwift Games, your big focus?
Zwift Games is 100% focus, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think a lot of people are gonna be gunning for that, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of riders coming off of Zwift Academy, GP and different national races, and going all in for that. So yeah, next we'll definitely be trying to put the best foot forward for it. Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. It's going to be some really hard racing and coming up into March.
Well, great. Thanks. Nicely done to Next, and appreciate the time you've given us, Thomas, and good luck on your journey towards Zwift Games. We hope to see you in the next couple of weeks at ERL. So appreciate your time. Thanks, nicely done. Yeah,
Cheers,
no
Dave.
problem, Thomas. Cheers. Well, that's going to be Thomas Parin from Next Esports. We are actually going to take a quick 3-minute break, and the ladies, as you can see, are about to jump out on course. We do have about 5 minutes to the start of their race, and we'll get right on into it with them. And it does look like on their race, it will be a time trial. Just as a heads up, it will be a time trial. So we'll be right back with you, everybody, in about 3 minutes.
Zach Mayer is absolutely, this man is focused. He is locked and loaded. This is not a drill. Big time bike racing is back. A lot of communication going on with that next and short team, but again, this is the man on the front. So Brian Duffy Jr. driving the scoop. Wisconsin's Hayden Tucker restart. Nathan is really standing up to that next team here. Hey, Nathan. I don't know if you can hear me.
Apologies
here.
on that. Nope, you're good.
There we
we're
go.
back.
All right.
There we go. We put everybody.
Usually that's
mute
me.
there. Usually that's you. I muted my mic.
Yeah.
My bad. And so we're in with the elite women here, and it is going to be a time trial. We do actually have a time trial, and they are about to kick out on course, actually. Just 6 seconds to the start of their race. Actually, let's go right down into it because I want to see how they get moving, as it's going to be really interesting to see the way that they actually play this out right from the get-go. Riders right on course. Big orange numbers, as you can see, as we jump right on in with Gabriela Guerra, and it looks like Sarah Roach alongside of Gallegos Godby on the line, as well as I think we have a Holly Bergen is here with us as well.
Well, it's nice to see the next and short rider taking the start. Holly, welcome to the field. So Sarah Roach, Holly Bergen, Gabby Guerra, Christy Tracy, Jackie Godby, Elise Gallegos, and Aisha Chow with Julia Lehman in our field. That's really nice to see. Holly is a big part of the community. She's done a tremendous job of instilling positivity into the world that she walks in. So great to see the next rider who has really stepped up as well. And here we go, Nathan. This is going to be fun to watch. So if you were just with us, they have been able to right the ship and they've got the drafting turned off. So we are into time trial mode. It's such a unique event, something that you could only do on Zwift. As you can see, the two riders just up the road right now are going to be Gabby and Sarah, as we're in with the chase group. But with no draft here, they're really just pacing off each other.
Yep, there is no draft. As you can see, they do have their time trial bikes on, as you can see. So there's definitely going to be a full-on battle here between them when it comes to pacing, I think, out here today. We can jump in with Gallegos here now, actually. I think she has started out with a little bit of calmer of a pace. You know, she knows how to pace herself, though, Dave. I would watch out for at least in the back end of this race, because she knows exactly what she's doing when it comes to the kind of pace she needs to set to perhaps be the winner outright out here today. Guerra, though, interesting enough, you know, I have inside information, obviously, and Guerra is racing back to back. She's doing this race and then later is doing the Tour de Boudica. She raced Tour de Boudica yesterday and raced ZGP on Thursday. So this is a big block of training for Guerra as well as racing here. And to be off the front with Roach now at this point is, I also know Gabriella to be one that gets a little bit excited perhaps too when it comes to like not letting anything go. Get right on it. But she likes to race from the front, that's for sure.
She has a voracious appetite for racing, and we absolutely love it. I would say, my guess, that's Gabby in cam right now. My guess, and it's got to be cold. I saw you put on a jacket, Nathan. It's also
Yes.
really cold in Colorado, and I'm about to put
Those
on
windows
a
are
jacket
open.
here,
Those windows
Right.
are open. It is literally
So,
negative 15 degrees out right now.
You know how they talk about air-chilled chicken at your grocery store? Well, this is air-chilled Gabby that we've got here. I'm guessing it's probably 45 degrees in that room right now.
No, we haven't gotten it that cold. It's below 60. It's on the wall, well, next to me
Can't
where
see
the
her
windows
breath.
are open. We're gonna be close to seeing breath maybe in a moment, but over by her side of the room, it's around 58 to 59 degrees. It's cold. My feet are cold, Dave. I put the wool on.
Wouldn't it be funny if her feed water bottles were frozen? She had to break the ice on the top like a dog bowl that was outside. And so, actually, so I did want to note, in all seriousness, Nathan, this is the strongest part of our community with these women here. And both Sarah Roach and Elise Gallegos come from a world of triathlon. And I have a feeling that what Elise is doing is slightly handicapping herself today. Just that's a guess, complete guess. I've never spoken with or met Elise, but I think that she's looking for a challenge, which is probably chasing down a world-class athlete like Sarah Roach right here. Sarah racing out of Houston. They're both moms. They both got mom watts, which you have to respect. The power that Sarah and Elise have with the busy lives and everything, the fact that they're able to be so intensely focused with their athletic prowess is just amazing to me. And you can see that Sarah Roach is a woman on a mission out here right now. Definitely different. I don't know what the weather is like in Houston, Texas, but I'm going to guess it's more like a high 50s, low 60s kind of day. A cold front has really hit most of America right now, where most of our racers are, but obviously not entirely out here. As I'm going to have to check in on that flag from Aisha Chow here. Now that I'm starting to think Bermuda or Trinidad and Tobago there for Aisha. So welcome to you, Aisha. But Sarah Max is, as I said, she's going to be hard to catch today. She's a fierce competitor. She has a body of work, Nathan. When you look back on years of triathlon and marathon, there's something to be said for, one thing about getting fit. There's another thing about a lifetime of being fit.
100%. Well, Sarah, that is a great point actually that you're making there about experience in the legs, right? It is something as far as both the memory you have about how to race, but the memory the muscles know about the powers that you can put out and how to put out that kind of an effort. So going to have some years of experience, that's for sure. Guerra now at 5.7 watts per kilogram, looking to maybe thinking, okay, this is starting to get a little bit out of control, perhaps, is what she's thinking, and needs to start bringing this back, starting to match the watts from Sarah Roach. This is starting to become kind of a technical battle between the two of them, isn't it? Where you start thinking, what can I do to pull this back little by little and not overextend yourself? But Roach, as you can see here, still with 2 seconds as Gabby looks to try and shut this down. Gallegos, now it looks like the response is starting to come from her and saying, okay, it might be time now at this point to start bring some of this back, as we can't let this get too far ahead.
It's interesting, Nathan, because I'm with you in what you're talking about. I also think to myself, if I'm Elise Gallegos and I am this experienced, do I just race my own schedule? Do I just look at this 25K? It's a well-known wandering flats here. Is most of these riders will have a lot of experience racing on this course. There's not a lot of question marks. So is Elise just purely riding her own race today, letting Sarah and Gabby do what they want to do?
It's a good question.
It is, isn't it?
I think she really is. I think that she knows exactly what she is. One of those athletes, from what I've picked up and what I've sensed, that she really knows how to say what her own race is. And that's how we've seen her win. We've seen her win, or at least get like some of her best results, as we saw in Innsbruck a couple of weeks back up against Krista Kulczynski, that she just went and did her own thing off the front for a long period of time and almost got the W out there, right? And then we see what she did in Bologna. She rode her own race and then ended up taking it at the end of, from how much she had conserved throughout here. So here we have a situation. Roach has got 5 seconds on Gallegos. She's got 3 seconds on Guerra at this point. And Gallegos has kind of let this go a little bit. But again, I think you're right, Dave. She knows what she can handle, and she's going to do exactly that.
Yeah, and that is the ultimate confidence that an athlete can have, is when you have your program, maybe working with a coach, or just trusting in your process. That's really something. So I have a feeling that Elise Gallegos, she's the woman in cam right now. We had been with Sarah Roach, who's just up the road. You can actually see, as they say, it was old Alice who says, "Kiss my grits." Well, you can kiss the dust that Sarah Roach is throwing up right now, as that's Elise Gallegos there, that we're both actually, both shots are of Elise, her virtual avatar. And where she's racing right now. So she, to me, Nathan, will be in that group with Kolchinsky, Liz Van Houweling, of the best Americans. I'm expecting that she'll be representing her nation in many world championships. This is one of the best stories when you talk about Gabby Guerra as well. Gabby flies the Brazilian flag, but really, I don't know of anyone, Nathan, in all of my life that you could say is more a citizen of the world than Gabby Guerra, your wife.
Yeah, I would say that too as well. I actually was thinking the other day the amount of languages I have to try and learn over the last a couple of years here to try and be able to be in the same mind space as Gabriella. But here, now, as you can see, this is interesting. Look at these wattage comparisons. You couldn't be much closer, could you, Dave? It's the 20-minute there at 4.8. But, Dave, I wonder if we push that out to an hour, if it might start going toward Gallegos. It actually surprises me. I thought it would have been the other way around when it comes to 15 seconds and 1 minute here. So interesting to see here that actually Guerra may have the better threshold, but the punches are still going to matter. And Dave, those numbers are so close. A good day and a bad day, or a medium day, it can really settle this right down between the two.
Oh, I mean, it might come down to whose cat is healthy. I mean, as far as they're so equal here. I mean, watch their heart rates right now. This is one of the cooler things that Zwift Community Live has brought on board, is you can see that just slightly lower is the heart rate for Gabby Guerra, but on all the metrics, they are so close. And it is surprising that the younger athlete is slightly quicker in the short sprints, but is slightly on the other end of the stick on the ultra endurance end of things. It looks like things are just about to come back together here, as this has been Sarah Roach leading throughout. Really, it started off with Sarah with Gabby together. Then Sarah soldiered on alone. This is Sarah Roach that we're in with now. Sarah is holding on to a 4-second advantage to Gabby, 6 seconds to Gallegos. I'm actually surprised that Gallegos hadn't made that catch of Guerra, as I thought Guerra had settled into her rhythm there. Aisha Chow, incredible ride from Aisha, Nathan, sitting only 11 seconds back, and Holly Burgeon showing up and really representing quite well as we go back now. And this is Aisha, isn't it? Aisha Chow, that we're joining, the rider from Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, this is Aisha. Great to see her jumping in with us. And currently at 172 beats per minute, having a great ride, actually. It's kind of, I think this is going to be a situation, I like it that we can get these races within the race, right? And so I think with Chow and Bergen is kind of what we're going to be looking at here, and getting an idea of what they might be able to produce. We're seeing 3.7 steadily here, now up in the 4 from Holly Bergen, now Chow 4.3. So I think they're really going to be watching each other out there today. Now another situation now on the comeback is going to be Jackie Godby. Jackie Godby here now catching Holly Bergen, and this is going to be a matchup to be watching out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great seeing Jackie back out here racing. She's been very active the last couple of weeks and just seems to be getting better and better. She's another full-time professional. I believe she's a radiologist, Nathan. I should double check that, but she works in the medical field, has been the top American at many of the international esports events, the first American to ever stand on the podium at an esports world championship. So legend status was unlocked a long time ago by Jackie Godby, and we've had nothing but respect for her. And as any athlete in their journey, the hero's journey, Nathan, as heroes also have tough moments, don't they? And how they respond to that and the comeback is really how you define someone. Jackie's now living in St. Louis, Missouri. She is a radiology resident, but I almost feel like she's past that resident phase, to tell you the truth. But she's definitely someone whose brain and body operate at the very, very highest level, and it's an honor to have her as part of our family here at Zwift Community. She was the bronze medalist at the Virtual Cycling World Championships in 2023 and a silver medalist at the eSport World Championships, and is a proud chocolate aficionado.
Yeah, like that one. As you can see her there in the USA kit, representing the USA at World Championships. Nice job to Jackie here as she soldiers on. And I think that she's doing a great job out here today. I think she's starting to find some rhythm, actually, as I'm starting to see those watts rack on up a little bit. So I think she's having a better day than she has in the recent past, as I think the fitness starting to come around for Gabi a little bit here.
I love the comments here. Decidedly different, isn't it, amongst this group, Nathan? The encouragement these women have for each other is part of the strength of this community that makes you so proud. That's for sure. So, all right, down to it now. We're looking not quite into the middle. Well, we're into the middle part of this race. They haven't hit the halfway point yet as we come up on 10K. Sarah Roach having an incredible ride today. She's holding on here on the front. Elise Gallegos now starting to move forward as we see Gabi Guerra going for some more nutrition, hydration, both, maybe.
Yeah, let's go. I'm going to see if we can get a comparison actually now with the two front runners. Gallegos now, we said, Dave, she was going to be a threat later in the race, that she had a good ability to set a solid tempo, know exactly what her race is all about out here today, and has caught Guerra and now is only 4 seconds behind Roach. This is time trial at its best, isn't it, Dave?
Absolutely. And this is what you're talking about with what competition brings out in athletes is there's no way that you can train to this level now, Nathan. What these athletes are doing, it becomes animal instincts. It becomes the pure essence of athleticism. As Sarah Roach here, the pride of Texas. Sarah Roach is actually an English woman who's lived in the United States for the better part of the last, let's say, couple decades. But she right now has got Elise Gallegos hot on her heels. You can see what 3 seconds looks like out on course. That's the Avis Synergy rider, Sarah there. Sarah's been coming on leaps and bounds in eSports, an accomplished endurance athlete already, but you start seeing these numbers growing. Elise Gallegos, though, Nathan, to me, you're looking at two of the stars of the future in esports, but Elise Gallegos is going to take this all the way to, the Swift Games, the World Championships. I'm anticipating the next couple of years, if she really wants to commit to this, she could be the best in the world.
Yeah, here we go as it's starting to ramp up in the back end. I thought that Sarah went out a little bit hot, but we'll see if she can hold on to this now. Guerra now making a little bit of a surge, though. 5 watts per kilogram coming from Gabriella, as I think she's maybe starting to get a second wind. Again, she went out real hard trying to chase down Roach. Now up and out of the saddle, as you can see, as she does have that style when she starts to get into some sort of a pressure or a rhythm here, into that 5.3 steady now, as you can see. So 42 kilometers per hour. I did get a little bit of a note from Gabriella coming in that she was going to focus on speed more than watts out here today. We'll see if she can stick to that plan, because it is about speed at the end of the day, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, well, and that's Swiftcraft, and that's something that you really learn as when you first take a look at esports, it takes a while to really pull back the layers and understand what these athletes are doing, but the touch, the feathering, the finesse, it's all at such a high level as we see, and Gabi is a tremendous example of that. Race situation right now, it looks like the catch is being made. I mean, again, there's no draft here. So right now you're looking at two riders locking horns at the front. So they're virtually tied at this point. That's Elise Gallegos that we're in with here. In cam now as she does go by Sarah Roach. So Sarah set a very hot tempo in the first half of this race. We're right at the midpoint right now. And for Sarah Roach, I would say it's a little bit about regrouping here and remembering that we still have a long way to go. And Elise Gallegos, though, taking over on the front. So that yellow jersey now becomes our new leader. It looks like she's got her pacing schedule just perfect.
Yeah, it really does. As she continues on, we haven't seen her fall below 4 watts per kilogram, really. And here's the other thing. She can see the downhill. Do you see how she accelerated into the downhill and then got into a little bit more of a steady rhythm? It's about getting the most speed and reservation of energy when you can for free speed. And I think that's at least she's really learned her Zwiftcraft. I'm actually very impressed by this.
Boy, talk about a steep learning curve. But Nathan, that was case in point to what you were saying, Gabby, was the notes that she had coming into this race, was trying to work on that exact thing. It's really important in this world of e-racing. You have to respect the field that you're racing in and what it's all about. And here in esports, it's not just about making the watts. It's making the watts at the right time and setting yourself up for success out here. And you're right. It looks like Elise has really cracked the code on that, as she now is into full-on watt mode here, pushing forward, solo leader, up and out of the saddle. So Elise is going to make this into a really tough slog for the rest of our field if they're going to try to catch her. Nothing's going to come easy, as it looks like Gabby Guerra now getting up. Look, I mean, the gap is not that much here. Sarah Roach and Gabby Guerra side by side with Elise Gallegos in the yellow jersey just up the road, as we're now into Neokyo, where it's always night.
Yeah, now the catch being made here. It looks like Guerra here getting a second win, perhaps. I did see a little bit of a chatter that she was like thinking maybe she wasn't going to be able to make it. Taking on some gel there. You can see her there with the SIS in hand, making sure that she's going to be well fueled. That's going to be really important for Guerra, especially also racing Tour of Boudica later today. So a rider, Dave, there is the reality when you have multiple events in one day, you can get by with not quite as much. I wouldn't suggest it necessarily, but you can almost produce the same power as long as you put in a little bit of sugar. But when you've got multiple events in a day, you almost have to make sure you are completely refueling as much as you possibly can when you do have multiple events. And well, that almost hit me.
Well, but I want to make that point, Nathan, just like in a stage race, how the hydrating you're doing isn't for right now. It's for 2 days from now. Your body is a very complicated thing, and you make an excellent point there about how even though you might be able to get through this race with no more sugar, Gabby's smart enough to realize that, or carbs, or all of it, that it's not just about this hour, it's not just about 2 hours from now, it's also about tomorrow, as Tour de Boudica continues through Sunday, I believe.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing
So,
still going on with Tour de Boudica, and they've got some pretty hard efforts coming up for them. So it's a big day here for Guerra, and she's going to, but she's putting out a solid effort and a big training / racing block for her right now. Now Gallegos is only 3 seconds up here at this point, so this is quite the battle. Roach is hanging on here as well. I wouldn't count her out if she can redouble her efforts, but it's going to be tough for, I think, Roach here now at this point, is with how incredibly intense that she did go out. It's very difficult to bring back that kind of effort. But I am seeing Roach here now, up and out of the saddle, 6 watts per kilogram. She's fighting, Dave.
Listen, never underestimate an athlete like Sarah Roach. The fire inside is incredible. We talked about mom watts. There's something to be said for the where these women are at in their life. These are straight up rock stars. They are tough. They've been through plenty through their marathoning and triathlon careers. And you know what, Nathan? You want to talk about two athletes that are comfortable being uncomfortable? Well, you're not going to find two that fit that better than Sarah Roach, who you've got on screen right now chasing. The fact that Sarah Roach is able to do what she's doing right now, which is texting, that's insane how fast
they're texting each other. Gabby's saying, "Come on, Sarah, let's go," and keep it up. And I think that Sarah's giving a response as well. Maybe private messages, not sure, but cool to see as they're encouraging each other on. This is great. They're really pushing each other.
This is our community on the positive side of things. Sarah Roach, you go, girl. Look at this effort from Roach. I mean, listen, I will stand by everything that we've been saying about Elise Gallegos. She's an absolute legend already, and we're just getting to know her. But Sarah Roach is showing us, you've heard me say before, Nathan, fitness and heart are like a building with no windows. We can't look inside a person and see what they're all about. But what we're seeing now is exactly that. I mean, Gabby Guerra goes without saying here. You're seeing the Gabby hanging right here in between Gallegos and Roach. But these are the women of the Echelon Racing League. This is something we can be really proud of as they're out racing today on Wandering Flats. 25K of racing. They're 16K in. So we're on the back nine now.
Back nine, they got a big climb in front of them, though, don't they, Dave? They've got a really good climb from the bottom of the McCurry Castle area all the way to the top. And that it's got little punches in it. You know, Roach now getting back on terms. Wow, really impressive here. But Gallegos, she continues to just eke out little by little. Look, in the distance a little bit more now at this point. And that's really going to at least is probably going to start getting some confidence from that, as I think she really has paced herself well at this point. I am seeing a little bit more consternation on the face there, though, from Elise. No matter what, with these kinds of efforts, I mean, you can do all the pacing in the world. It's still an all-in effort, though.
Yeah, there's no gifts given. It's never, that's one of the greatest quotes from Greg LeMond for sure is it never gets easier. You just go faster. Right. And that's exactly what's going on here. I mean, what one of our D riders was going through earlier today is very similar to what Elise is going through. This hurts. It's not easy. If it was easy, anybody could do it. That makes it really not, the value isn't there. It's so hard. It takes so much work and focus and commitment that it is so much sweeter when you find success out here. Yeah, I mean, we talk about the level of competition. And thank you, Nathan. Going back, we're going to take a look at more of our riders in the field, as it's not just a 3-woman race out here today. And I was talking about Aisha Chow. I did a little bit of research on Trinidad and Tobago. Nathan, when you're ready for that, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, we'll jump in there in a second. This is
Julia Lehman.
Yeah,
yep, Julia, here, the Canadian.
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nathan. I was just saying, from Canada. And one of the riders that is more than holding her own out here. I mean, look at this. She's making 4 watts per kilo as we pick her up. So keep it going, Julia. Looks like she's a cyclocross
Dave,
person.
This is interesting. Julia is a junior, actually. And jumping in with some of these elite women of the top level, 14 years of age, Collingwood, Ontario, Canada. She's a student. She rides for the indoor team Collingwood Collective. She races mountain bike, CX, and gravel for that collective. This is her first year cadet expert. Now, I don't know the Canadian cycling. What's cadet? Help me out with that.
Cadet is the older juniors. So the juniors get split up. There's like Riley Sheehan was a cadet junior when he won Tour of Labitibi for 2 years, right? So that's this, I guess, 16, 17, or the oldest junior group is the best way to put it.
Gotcha.
It's the U19 group.
Understood.
It gets very complicated in sports.
Well, she's battling with the next insured rider, which is great to see. And has a pretty good 20 minutes. She could catch Holly, but Holly's having a good ride out here. And this is one of the battles behind here with the junior rider, battling it out with Bergen out of the United Kingdom.
Well, a great example of the depth of our community as well. He is a really fun person. He brings positive energy. And a young rider from Canada, from Ontario, just absolutely love to see that. That's going to be Holly Burgeon that Nathan is in with now as we take a look at the next insured rider here. As Holly's got a real battle on her hands now. These two evenly matched out here. They've got another one going on, it looks like, with Godby and Chow, Nathan.
That one's really close. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
They are seriously matched here at this point and just locked head-to-head at this point, I think, with Chow and Godby.
Yeah, this is a great example. So if you're just joining us, we're back now with drafting turned off. So, you get so used to saying, wow, that's pretty nice for Jackie. She'll be able to slide right into this draft here and get a huge advantage. But no, the only real information that you can take from that is that they're basically dead even right now. So a few millisecond advantage here for Chow. She's the rider out of Trinidad and Tobago. St. Louis is now where Jackie Godby is from. Jackie really, I'm sure, identifies with that Chicago racing scene, the Triple X Athletico racing program that she came out of. But job and career have taken Jackie and her partner up to St. Louis. Not really that far from Chicago. But that's a good example now of the two riders fighting for fourth and fifth out here on our Project Echelon Racing League time trial day.
Things are starting to heat up now, and I had the feeling that perhaps this is the moment that the ladies would be waiting for, and now Guerra goes on the attack, it looks like. Sarah Roach falling 13 seconds behind now at this point as it starts to head uphill. This is the only major climb out on course. Has Guerra reserved enough is going to be the big question out here today. Gallegos now 3 seconds up now at this point, and this is a place on course where a race-winning move really can happen.
I am honestly blown away that Gabby is closing down this gap. I was kind of big picturing today for her, knowing that there's so much racing coming on later. Gabby is all heart, no doubt about it. I mean, if there's a bike race, she's going to race to win it. And Elise Gallegos is going to be in for a real battle right now. So here we go. It looks like we're going to separate this down to two. I'm never going to count out Sarah Roach. Sarah is the perennial contender, no question. But Nathan, we talked about how critical this sector, the Castle Climb here, and Elise Gallegos, Gabby Guerra throwing down now.
It's getting, this is going to be intense now, Dave. As you can see, these two going head to head as Guerra here trying to close it down. Gallegos, though, now she brings back 4 seconds again, 5 seconds. So, Dave, they are up against it here with each other. Absolutely love to see the way that they are battling it out now. 5.7 watts per kilogram coming from Gallegos. Now Gabby Guerra up and out of the saddle again as they battle to the top. And it really is going to be about how it comes over the top of this, because bringing time back on the downhill gets a little bit more difficult, doesn't it, Dave?
It does. It does. Absolutely, Nathan. I mean, this is a battle of sheer will. I love this style of racing. Time trialing with draft turned off is what it's all about. And this has just been body blow after body blow being thrown by Guerra and Gallegos. And at this point now, with Roach at 27 seconds, it's going to be one of these two. It's 4 seconds separating them. So Gabby Guerra is fierce with a capital F. And you know that Elise Gallegos realizes this. Elise now throwing every last watt. I mean, she's scraping the bottom of the barrel, and we've still, Nathan, got 4.5K to go. This is bike racing at its best. Elise Gallegos, she didn't sign up for this time trial today thinking it was going to be easy, but Nathan, I don't think anybody thought it was going to be quite a battle like this. This is Echelon Racing League in full effect. Back to you, Nathan. They're down to about 4K to go.
Yeah, now you can see. Now look at the style here between the two. Start getting a little bit of comparison and how this is playing out between the two. Up and out of the saddle, you see a lot of rocking, a lot of motion, a lot of kind of shake a little bit there in Gallegos. Gabby there, you can see smoothness, boom, 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 one after another. Now that might just have something to do with the ability to keep calm and stay within control, but that you can almost see it in the frames here at this point. Now I do see Gallegos go, okay, it's okay, get back into my rhythm, don't get out of control. You can see that in her as she can see that this time has come back and it's going to start to become a race where it's head to head more, where that advantage starts to disappear.
What happens if or when or both what Guerra makes the catch? Because psychologically now you got to say advantage to Gabby Guerra in my mind. Elise Gallegos is realizing that she has locked horns with a absolute monster out here. So Gallegos, who, I mean, in my mind, I'll be honest, Nathan, a couple K ago, I thought she might start adding more time to an advantage and start padding this, and we might be looking at a 15-second Gallegos win. Right now, we are dead even as the catch has been made, and we've got a new leader as Gabby Guerra has asserted herself. This is an incredible ride by the Brazilian Watt Wagon.
5.1 watts per kilogram on the front now. And now that heart rate, I do know, I did see her adjusting her monitor. It was reading correctly earlier. It's just having dropouts, everybody. The heart rate is now coming back, as you can see here. And I think there has just been a connection issue for a moment there. Now it looks like it is slowly coming back up as it does get back into connection. Guerra, though, actually going immediately on the attack, and she can maybe sense a moment. And you don't want to wait. You know, Dave, there is the reality. This is, in a time trial like this, you do not want to have to wait at all. It looks like there was an issue here with the chain for a second there, actually, as Gara's having some trouble with the chain situation. Oh, man, and she needs to stay on top of it here, it looks like, and not panic. No panic here, hopefully.
There's so many elements to this. There's the fueling and the calories. There's the bike itself. There's your internet. And there's the fact that you've got to deal with this monster. Elise Gallegos is back up and out of the saddle. So it's really about momentum. We've seen a few shifts here. It really looked like through the last 10K that Elise Gallegos was asserting herself. But then we saw a couple of kilometers ago, Gabby Guerra just lit a fuse and has been absolutely charging. Guerra's been dealing with this the heart rate monitor issue. We saw her a few minutes ago trying to adjust that. It looks like that's been managed now. Her bike has been popping and clicking, making all kinds of crazy noises over there. So I don't know what's going on with her drivetrain. Elise Gallegos, I mean, this is insane. It's really, I mean, when you compare styles now, you're absolutely right. Rock solid is Gabby Guerra. This is a level, near into the 80s level Zwifter. Elise Gallegos coming at it with a little bit more. If Gabby Guerra is Charlie Watts, Elise Gallegos is Keith Moon of The Who, right? Completely different styles on the drums, but they're both right there. At the end of the day, you can dance to the beat of your own drummer, but these are the best women racers in the Echelon Racing League right now.
3 seconds now, 5.2 watts per kilogram. Guerra now starts to open it up, it looks like, as she can see 2K to go. Guerra now starting to make the moves here at this point as she gets a little bit of extra energy in the back end of this race, it looks like. Has she timed this perfectly, Dave? Honestly, I'm surprised. I was not expecting the back end of this race to be so strong for her.
Yeah, well, and that really is experienced, and that is in Gabby's corner, to tell you the truth. Gabby has come into this with so much work. She hasn't shied away from doing the hard kilometers, and I really feel like it's paying off right now for the Brazilian. She's going to bring this home, so it's not luck. It's pure, raw effort that we're looking at from Gabby Guerra. This is a command performance. Nathan, even I can admit I can admit when I'm wrong, and I definitely thought that this was Gallegos' race to lose. Way to go, Gabby Guerra. You have upset the apple cart. This goes down as a big confidence booster, I have to think, for Gabby Guerra. The quality of the competition was excellent out here today. She cracked the code, showed patience, ability. It all came together in the perfect package. She just got to deliver this package home. It's 1K from the door now.
7 seconds now at this point. Driving the pace here, it looks like it is going to be a win for Guerra out here for Team Riot is who she's riding for, it looks like, out here today. That's who she's riding for in the Tour de Boudica. Now punches again as she does see Gallegos, though, Dave. Gallegos making a little bit of a move at the end here. I do like to see it, that she's up and out of the saddle, pushing 5-6 watts per kilogram. Garrett is now still struggling, it looks like, with that chain. Maybe just needs to calm it down a little bit and allow it to settle. As now Gallegos here continues on, almost maybe be able to take advantage here of the situation with Guerra. But Guerra now one last little effort here, 5.2 watts per kilogram. She's got it within her sights, though.
Wow, I mean, it's so awesome to hear how real this is. You can hear Gabby in the background as, that bike is popping and clicking. She's up out of the saddle. I recommend that we go see a mechanic after this race.
Yes. There is a new chain that is supposed to be here on that, honestly. But she's making it to the line, it looks like, barely. We might have to do some work before Tour de Boudica. We'll see how that goes. But Guerra here making it to the line. There's the finish line, able to hold on as she crosses. Big one.
Yeah, congratulations, Gabby. That's a fantastic performance. And we've got a champion, Gabby Guerra, for the win. Elise Gallegos going to come through and collect the silver medal out here today after Nathan. That qualifies as a battle royale in the Echelon Racing League time trial day. Sarah Roach going to bring it home for third. Hard-fought effort. Really proud of you, Sarah. Great ride today.
Huge effort here from Sarah Roach as she led early, actually, and had a really, really solid gap. It had about 5 seconds, I think, at the most at one point. Godby, though, Dave, what is this? What? There's a battle here that I didn't actually see coming, and this is barely. There's the finish line. Godby now 4 watts per kilogram. What is going on? Where did this suddenly come from? Godby, and look at the look on Godby's face. I mean, you can see it in her here, like, oh, I'm going to make this perhaps, but nope. It's really very close here. Godby with a huge effort. I think she brought that back in at the finish, at the climb, Dave, is where Godby made that move and brought back to 3 seconds, actually. What a day for Godby. Great to see that.
The fire inside looks like it's fully lit now, doesn't it, Nathan? Talking about Jackie Godby. That was this is going to be Aisha Chow, the Trinidad and Tobago rider, finishing up. We're going to hear more about Aisha, that's for sure. Strong ride. Holly Bergen to follow here. Good to have you racing with us today, Holly. Always appreciate you.
Get seeing chat coming on in. Nathan better get the park tool ready. Yeah, we're on it, everybody. we're on it.
Who was that from? That sounds
Tim
like a Michael
Hansen.
Sweet
That's our friend
comment.
Tim Hansen, who, everybody, somebody who's done a lot of work out in the world of racing on Zwift. We would not have a lot of the graphics that we have here, actually. Some of the graphics that we have here and the information that we can pull in. He's done a lot of work for the community to help both Zwift Community Live, but before that, helping the entire community pushing forward race rankings and really an eSports mixture with cycling when it comes to a website. So Zwift Racing app, if you're wondering where some of the things that we're bringing in actually when it comes to these rider comparisons, it is coming in a lot of this from Zwift Racing app with these comparisons. So thanks a lot. That said ZRA rating at the bottom there with these riders, as you can see there. So Tim Hansen, thanks a lot for jumping in with us as well. And I'll get right on that park tool for Gabby as well for you.
Nathan, you've really built up a great team around you with folks like AJ and Tim and folks that really do care about the quality of the broadcast and the racing. I think it's fair to say Holly cares about the quality of the broadcast and the racing, as Julia would as well. This is our junior standout, the cadet from Canada. Way to Canuck up today, Julia Lehman. We'll look forward to hearing your name a lot more in esports and gravel, cyclocross, road. Sounds like she does it all.
We'll definitely be watching out for Julia. Great to see the juniors jumping in with these elite women and getting some experience. And it's quite the result to be finishing this closely, actually, to some of our top esports racers in the world. I mean, this is as top as it gets. This is world championship level of riders, national championship levels of riders here. And, Julia is just a couple of minutes off that pace.
And actually, she's done and dusted, as we'll put paid, bring all of our riders home, and wrap up another great Echelon Racing League day. All right, Nathan. So that brings home our final of the elite women. We've had Masters racing since earlier this morning, following up on that great national championship last week. It's great to see Gabby Guerra putting a commit. Look at that performance from Gabby here. 37:29 the winner's time, as Elise Gallegos will come through, collect silver medal today. For second, Sarah Roach in third, Jackie Godby for fourth, Aisha Chow fifth, Holly Bergen in sixth, and Julia Lehman rounds out our 7 starters today.
Nicely done to all of our women. Let's see if maybe Elise wants to have a chat here quickly, as we have Gallegos here. Elise, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Awesome. Nicely done out there. Your pacing was phenomenal. Do you want to speak to us a little bit about what you were thinking coming into the race?
I'm going to try to turn you up. Okay, so repeat that again.
Yeah, well, just like thoughts coming into the race, like how were you thinking about taking this race on, and what was your? I can turn myself up for you there. I hope that's better. So yeah, what were your thoughts coming into the race? What were you thinking? With your pacing, the strategy out there today.
Yeah, I had one of my friends on the level team. He gives me like splits for I don't know, like per kilometer. He does an awesome job, Richie. So he gave me splits to like start off with, and then I also kind of went with Adam Thorpe's kind of suggestions on pacing on what I need to do for the flats versus like when you hit the hill, like what you need to do. So just kind of race my own race, let people go, and then it's always better to kind of start easier and then build your way into it. I don't know. just kind of winged it. Gabby just did so amazing, even with all the bike issues. So honestly, I did a lot better than I thought with all this racing we've done this week. So
Yeah, and your background in racing, does it favor something like a time trial like this for you? You come from am I right that you come from more of a triathlete background or no?
Yes, yeah, Ironman. Yeah, I could do this all day. Like if y'all said go do this for 4 more hours, I would love to. Yeah, I love it.
Well, Elise, I absolutely love the competition that we've seen playing out, and I gotta say it is from last week. But have you gotten a new skewer? And I'm so sorry to see what happened on 23rd. You were definitely a favorite in my mind, and that must have been crushing. Have you kind of like, okay, it's all right, let's go forward. Obviously, you're still racing really well, and you've got probably plenty of goals forward besides that.
Yeah, got a new skewer, and then just did a complete overhaul of everything on my bike, retightened everything. So kind of what Gabby's dealing with right now, I'm sure. Nothing is more heartbreaking than that, especially at nationals. I really wanted to just win everything and show everyone what I'm capable of doing. So that was really heartbreaking, but glad I got to show it climbing up Bologna, and yeah, hopefully I can keep showing people and earn my spot for the USA team.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much, Elise. Appreciate you giving us a little bit of time, and nice job on the second place today in the ERL.
Yes, thank you. Congrats, Gabby.
Well, that was awesome. Let's see if we can bring in Gabby and have a little chat with her and how things played out. We'll see how well our because we're in the same, how well the audio plays over. Sometimes we have a little bit of a struggle with it here. Dave, maybe you can take over with the conversation because I think I'm going to be in the back. Well, I'm not too bad in the background. We'll see what happens.
I'll mute myself every time you talk, maybe. Okay, let's see.
Gabby, what was going on with your bicycle in the finale?
Sorry, Dave. Can you repeat?
Yes, Gabby, your bicycle looked like it was acting up during the finale. What was happening? Was it your drivetrain, your chain?
I don't know exactly what was going on. My chain, I was in the little chain ring just grinding, and all of a sudden I would just lose traction. Something I have to figure out now, because I have a race coming up in 1.5 hours, so I need a functioning bike for that.
Understood. So, Gabby, where does time trialing rank for you as far as your racing experience goes? That was a great ride today. Was that experience that helped you win, or was it ambition and excitement that helped you win more today?
Dave, I think for time trial, it's really about every rider knowing themselves and what they can do and hold without blowing up. And also knowing about how to keep speed more than a certain power. So I was just trying to watch my speed, but I also know myself really well when it comes to, okay, what can I do? How much over can I get? And how well can I recover at a certain pace so that I don't lose speed? So I think that's very crucial for time trials.
My last question for you, Gabby, is I see you as a very important part of our Zwift community. When you look around a race and you see these strong women that you're racing with and all of these great stories, how important to you is the community part of this racing versus the competition part of the racing? I see you as having a big presence in both, but to me, community is just really what keeps us coming back here. What do you think?
Well, I think it's amazing that the riders that race each other are also a community, and that we become even friends through getting to know each other through the races. I chat with Elise a lot in private. Even today during the race, we're pushing each other. And the other day I was doing a recovery ride that is for women only, a group ride that I lead, and someone else that raced at Grand Prix also came along, and it's just amazing to see women connecting through the community and pushing each other to race and encouraging each other to race. But then when we're racing, also taking it seriously and like pushing and like, okay, this is serious now. Let's like really give everything that we have. And I think those two parts go well together.
They really do. So final question. We were during the race. Nathan talked about the notes you had, and you mentioned it in this interview about speed and Zwiftcraft. If I ask you, what did you learn from the time trial today? What did you learn?
Me, I confirmed that personally, I can like pace a certain pace for a while, and I know that I have also a certain tolerance at the end to push over and stay at the over until the end. So that helps. I did multiple workouts doing that rather than like over under or like over at the first and then kind of under. But also, I think it depends a lot on the course. I knew that course will be very flat and sometimes a little rolly, but I thought I'm just not going to worry too much about the riders around me because we are so different when it comes to like raw power. So like Elise said, just like do your own race, do your thing and pace, and then see how well you can keep the speed.
Thank you. Great job, Gabby. Congratulations on a big win today.
Thank you, Dave. It was fun. Good job, everyone.
That's fun, Nathan. I really like. How cold is it in there now? Are you ready to shut the window and warm up?
It's freezing. It's freezing. Yeah, it's definitely cold. Like as you can see, since the beginning of the broadcast, I've put on the jacket
layers,
and then also layered up. I'm actually like put my feet underneath myself here to keep them warm. Actually, I'm like sitting Indian style. Just the reality of how cold it actually. That's all a part of of esports, though. When it comes to racing, I've always said in this space of esports, you are like a computer, a CPU. And as you heat up, you slow down. So liquid cooling that we like, now we have liquid coolers, fans. We had fans we used to use on CPUs and computers, and they would just have like a heat sink with a little fan on it. Now we have liquid cooling with radiators like on a car. Well, we're kind of heading that way as well within esports. Like people are getting like ice packs and all these different ways that they're trying to cool to keep things down as far as that temperature goes. Because the moment that you get too hot, you start slowing down. It's really, really, and I think a lot of people might not even understand that actually, how much it really matters.
I'm surprised, Nathan. I remember back at the 2007 Tour de Georgia when riders started showing up for the first time with ice vests. And it makes sense to not race in real life with an ice vest because ice is heavy, and that'd be counterproductive. But I'm surprised that we don't see more of cooling while on the bike with ice. I know that there have been some people that have made inserts for cooling elements to be added, but I would expect we see more of that. To tell you the truth, is overheating is a big part of it. Not everybody is lucky enough to live in Wisconsin in the middle of January.
Lucky. Thanks. Yeah, lucky. I don't know. I think I might like to use the air conditioner instead.
But yeah.
But, well, everybody, that's race number 4 in the Echelon Racing League. We're here every Saturday throughout December. Not every Saturday, hasn't been, but we've got 2 more to go. We've got 2 more to go for the next 2 weeks for race number 5 and 6. It's been absolutely awesome. If you want to jump into the Echelon Racing League and be a part of all of this, head to echelonracingleague.com. You can find all the information about how to sign up over there. Dave, any final words before we take off?
I was just going to add, and I know you're in the loop on this, but we have a great Seattle presence with Zwift these days, and I'm heading there in a couple of weeks. And the final broadcast, it's all happening now, so I feel like I can say that we'll look forward to being at Metier, where we had Neil Freyette racing a couple of weeks ago. Sounds like Neil's going to be able to come and join us, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff planned for that day. But we're going to do Nathan will do the broadcast, but I'll be remotely broadcasting from Metier that morning. That's the Saturday the 27th, I want to say.
Yep,
that will be
100%.
But if anybody wants to come by and say hi, part of our Zwift community, which is really strong in Seattle, that's for sure. Come on by, but stay tuned for more announcements. And thanks as always, Nathan, for helping facilitate these fun get-togethers and connecting our community in real life and through the amazing broadcasts.
Yeah, it's been absolutely great, everybody. Hope to see everyone hanging out in some more of the ERL, and make sure to head on over to the Metier. That would be really cool to see.
Really fun.
It'd be really cool to see riders showing up and hanging out. But thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit those follow buttons, like, subscribe over on Zwift Community Live if you like all the stuff, because we are live here almost every day of the week for more than just ERL. But from Dave and I, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for race number 5 in the Echelon Racing League.
Zach Nair is absolutely, this man is focused. He is locked and loaded. This is not a drill. Big time bike racing is back. A lot of communication going on with that next and short team, but again, this is the man on the front. So Brian Duffy Jr. driving the scoop. Wisconsin's Hayden Tucker restart. Nathan is really standing up to that next team here.